dude looks like
Hey, champ! What is up? We can't hear you. We got him, guys. We got him. We got him.
I just wanted to pretend to be the Verizon guy from the early 2000s commercials.
I was chatting with everyone. I'm like, he's still on his phone right now. I'm telling chat, I'm like, I hope he's not reading this. We're going to surprise him right now.
Well, you got me. I didn't even have the thing pulled up. I was trying to avoid watching my own self react to Maximum Hormone over there. Because Alan goes, before this starts, Alan goes, I'm going to play your most embarrassing reaction up here. And I was like, I wonder what that's going to be. And I heard myself starting to talk about poo halfway through it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go on my phone. And
So we're here to expose you, sir.
Oh, God. I'm excited for it, I guess. There's a part a little perturbed, a little scared, a little concerned, but okay.
You should be. You should be very fucking scared. I'm glad you have coffee, getting ready for this, you know. What is your favorite group out of these three? Band-Maid, BTS, or Dreamcatcher?
Oh, God, why?
Yes! That's the exact reaction I wanted.
It's literally the three bands that I have sitting up there and behind.
Oh, I know. Right now. I know. I was been watching your reactions all morning.
Oh shit!
I was like, oh, what are the three posters on the wall right there? Oh, okay.
All right. So, are we on rapid fire yet? This is all.
No, this is not even rapid fire. We haven't even started.
Thank God. I mean, I like that they're all for different moods. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I'm sorry, you only get one.
Rock out.
Sorry, it's the rules.
I think I probably have to say Band-Maid. I think I just, because when it comes down to, you know, the K-pop things, right? Like, K-pop was a genre that I had not experienced before.
Yeah.
So a lot of the new stuff that I had heard out of that was all shocking and new and wonderful, and I like it all as like a genre. And BTS is at the top of that genre.
Yeah.
But I was raised and I play and I grew up on rock music and Band-Maid.
I knew you were going to choose Band-Maid. I already knew.
They're the epitome of what I like in music. You know?
Which makes sense.
Yeah, there's not much that I ask out of music that they don't give me. You know, and as much as I love BTS and Dreamcatcher doing things, you know, like some of their songs are my favorite songs out there. It's just the style. The style is made for me when it comes to BM.
Yeah, that's how I am about Maximum the Hormone. They're my favorite, hands down.
Really?
I mean, yeah, I fucking love them. It's everything I grew up listening to. I was a huge nu metal fan. I love punk. I grew up listening to punk, grew up listening to metal too, listened to thrash, listened to all that stuff. But I listened to all of it all at once. So, you know, while I was listening to that, I'm also listening to Jimi Hendrix, Boston, like, you know, all the 70s classics and stuff like that, like Foghat and bands like that. So it was all at once. So Maximum Hormone is just like everything about them is nostalgic.
Together.
Yes.
It's all just, here we go. Here's all the things you love. We're going to smush it into this ball and give it to you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I hear you. See, I was a little different on the how I listened to those things because I listen to all those genres also, but I went more like, it was like a cycle. You know, it was like, first I was listening, like I started off with like country music and then I went into like pop punk. And then
really? You like country?
Metal. Well, my parents, they raised me on country.
Damn. Okay. What kind of country are you listening to? I'm curious.
I haven't rocked out to it in a minute. But
if you were to rock out the one thing right now, country-wise.
Garth Brooks. Give me Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks?
Give me some, there's a lot, give me some Shameless by Garth Brooks or some When the Thunder Rolls. There's some bangers in the genre. I'm telling you. People will criticize genres as a whole, but I'm saying the top-notch artists in each genre, they got some game.
They do. You know? It actually makes total sense that you like country. I'm not as big as of a fan. I like older country, but I couldn't tell you a fucking name of a band to save my life. But I'm more on the country rock side. But like you could tell from your reactions, like, now it makes sense why you like some of the things you like. Like, now in my head, I'm like, oh, okay. I can hear where some of those melodies come from.
I get kind of bored of genres in general, like I'll give them a couple of years and then I'm like, oh, I feel like I've heard the things I really wanted to hear out of this genre. And then I'll get like really impressed by a different genre I've never listened to. So it's like, it's the same thing with everything, I'm really into country, and then it was like I was listening to nothing but punk in my like early teens. Nothing. That's
same.
Blink-182, Green Day, Rancid.
I listen to the same exact bands.
NoFX.
Yep, NoFX.
Catch-22. I was big into the ska area too. I really liked ska a lot.
Okay, that's interesting, because for those of you who don't know, we're pretty much from the same region of the country. I mean, so it's kind of funny that you grew up listening the same that I did, minus the country. But yeah, in my teens, it was all punk. And then I fell in love with nu metal. But I already had loved death metal before that. So
hey, let me ask you something about that. What do you consider nu metal? Like, throw a couple nu metal bands at me right now.
I'm going to go with the classics, of course. Limp Bizkit, Korn. Like the two ones. I don't care what anyone says. I love the fuck out of Limp Bizkit. I'm talking about $3 Bill, y'all. Love that album. I'll still listen to it today.
Just one of those days. Dude, I love Limp Bizkit. See, if we're talking about like stuff from back then that I still rock out to today, me and my buddies will go down in the basement and we'll just put on Limp Bizkit all day long and just rock out the break stuff.
Oh, dude, I used to get so drunk and I'd go at the edge of my couch and be like, "Do you want to fly?" Like getting ready to jump off my fucking couch.
Dude, these are underrated. These are underrated bands. Again, the genres. This is where I come back to the genres. It's like people are gonna look at like, oh my god, that crap, right? That early 2000s TRL nu metal crap. It's like, nah, dude, there's some bangers in there.
Yeah, there's some really bad stuff, but there's really good stuff.
Yeah, of course. There's bad stuff in everything.
Yeah,
there's garbage in every genre, and not just music.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember when I heard the track "Daddy" off of the Korn album, and I was like, "This is the most brutal, fucking rawest, heart-wrenching song I've ever heard in my life."
Especially that bridge.
Yeah, when he's screaming.
When he's screaming, I just listened to it a couple days ago.
I got chills talking about it. Like, I still get chills when I hear that track. I'm like, oh my god. It's like this is people forget.
That's the thing. It's perception, right? Like, perception comes down to like people are looking at a band like Korn or Limp Bizkit and saying we shouldn't take these guys seriously. When in reality, some of the shit that they have to say is like really deep and introspective.
Yeah, I mean, Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit, underrated guitarist by far.
100%.
He was one of the first people to plug his guitar into like a mixing machine while freaking DJ Lethal would warp his guitar and stuff. I mean,
is that true? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Who in nu metal was doing that, or taking his fingers and putting it under the strings and bending it up? I still don't see people do that.
No,
I mean,
he's got a very specific style to himself.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the reasons that he doesn't get the respect that he should get, though, is because there are a lot of tracks where like he's not going to show it off,
Yeah.
So people are looking at it going, "Oh, he's not doing too much."
I challenge people, listen to some of those riffs from Significant Other and $3 Bill, y'all. You still have not heard riffs like that. I'm telling you right now.
There are some good ones.
You know, every band gets mimicked, right? I've heard Korn like riffs in like newer metal bands and stuff like that. But with Limp Bizkit, his timing and off-puts with the rhythms were so weird. Even break stuff where it's like, da-da, and you're like, nobody stops there. Like right there on that chord. If you think about it, you'll hear riffs that are kind of close, but not really. Like it's really weird.
It's definitely the timing. It's definitely like you said, the break right there. Like that's a big thing. I agree 100%. You feel like there should be a third note coming after that. Yeah. Also, I like how the drums come in and like when you first hear the dun, if you didn't know what the song was going to go into, you would think that the beat is going to come on on the off time note. Yeah. Right. But it comes on the off time note. You think it's going to come on the other note, the note before it, but it doesn't, and it just kind of like throws you off a little bit. It gives it that nice feel.
Exactly. So you mentioned you're a musician, and I'm not going to lie, I couldn't catch what you mainly played. What did you used to mainly play?
You mean instrument-wise?
Instrument-wise, yeah.
Guitar. I was a guitarist. I generally, I was in a few bands, right? Thanatic Desire was my main band. That was the one that me and my bassist, we put together ourselves. You can actually find some of the music if you go on Spotify and type in Thanatic Desire. It's there. Okay. And so I wrote a lot of the music, and I did rhythm guitar and backup vocals because our vocalist didn't scream. Oh, okay. And we needed screaming, so I would do the screaming.
Oh, you did a screaming. You want to give us a little taste of a scream? Can you?
It's been a minute.
Can you scream something?
I would do the inhale.
That was pretty good. You clipped your mic.
Oh, did I? Shit.
No,
I
it sounded really
turn away
good.
From it too.
It sounded really good, and then when you got to the high part, it was like your mic was like. Here, let me your mic was like, "Fuck you." I think the first one was the better one. I don't know.
Oh shit, man! I'm too old for that now.
I appreciate you trying it though.
Yeah, I think I need a couple hours of recovery. You want to start this up in a day or two?
Yeah. I'm gonna get you a message after this. Alan, thanks for fucking up my voice on stream. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so it was mostly that I would do the backup vocals, like I said, and then the rhythm guitar, the writing, and then I ended up joining up with another band in my mid-20s just for like a couple tours. We went across the country. We played at South by Southwest.
Nice.
And it was a band called Rose Riot. Mm-hmm. We kind of did like a tour through the whole country, right? And we ended up in Texas, that's where you are now, right?
Yeah.
And then came back and did shows in all the other states in between New Jersey and Texas. But for that tour, I actually played bass, and I was not an official member of the band at that point, so I actually learned how to play all their songs on bass in the RV on the way to the shows.
Wow. I did the same thing, actually. I wonder if you've heard this band. It's called Embrace the Massacre. We were playing out in New York. I moved back just to be in that band because they had got signed, and then the singer quit, or they fired him or some bullshit. Did you ever hear of that band? Because we actually played in Jersey and Boston.
What was the name?
Embrace the Massacre.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. But I was just curious because they were pretty well known before I even joined the band. So I always ask people that are up there because there was a lot of really good metal up in New York and Boston and Jersey. Like there was a lot of really fucking good metal.
That's the thing. Like there's a ton of bands where like you could just go to like a local show still nowadays and just walk in and the second band on stage, you're going to be like, damn, they were pretty nasty, actually. I'm sure my bassist from my band, I'm still pretty close with him. He'd probably know Embrace the Massacre. He knows all the bands, and they're still actively playing with all the local bands and stuff like that. So
yeah, you brought up a really good point during one of your reactions where you said, like, you get sick of metal. I'm in the same boat unless it's interesting. You had mentioned it. You're like, that's what you love about the Japanese bands is that they came out and it's something interesting. And that's why I fell in love with Maximum Hormone, because I need metal with something extra. Maybe that's the musician bias in me, but I like my metal with extra.
Well, let's take a look at that, right? Like what do you consider extra? Because you were just saying, like, you really liked new metal back in the day. I'm not sure. Do you still?
I like metal with melodies. I always have.
See, that's where I was going to go with that, right? So, like, I got thrash is where you start. Thrash is where all the metalheads start, right? Yep. Like, you listen to Metallica, you listen to Megadeth, you hear those bands, and you go, oh, cool. Hey, Pantera's cool.
But all the good songs from, like, Slayer, right, were the ones with the melodies, right? With like 100%. Dead Skin Mask. Exactly. Right? A really underrated song too. Nobody
best song they've ever written.
And then Ditto Head. I was like, wow, why don't they do more like that? And I remember when they came out with the God Hates Us All album, I was like, it's actually one of my favorite albums by Slayer. Because it was just nothing but chorus melodies and it was full and it was heavy. And I'm like, what is this? Did you keep doing this?
Right? Like, you're not expecting that out of them, right?
Yeah, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying, though, after that?
Well, I was just thinking, like, I totally feel what you're saying, right? Like, needing the melody in there. And that's why, like, once I got through the thrash metal zone and I started to get bored of that stuff, and I discovered Swedish death metal, that's where that's when I started playing guitar. Like, I was like, holy shit, like, Are you kidding me? Like, and not just Swedish, Finnish death metal, like just that whole like Scandinavian countries like area coming out with bands like Children of Bodom and In Flames and all them, Dark Tranquility, Soilwork. Those bands to me, like they just came with the very technical aspect of it, but also those beautiful chorus melodies.
Yeah.
And that is what I needed. That's what I wasn't getting out of the thrash shit that I was listening to prior to that,
Yeah.
Of course, you listen to a song like by Metallica, like Master of Puppets, and obviously you get that whole bridge, which is like really beautiful, like a work of art. But you've also got like 6 minutes of no melody, you know? And I'm not hating. Like, I love Metallica. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. But as you grow, you kind of need to
It's interesting. Like you just said, I can't go back and listen to it, but I used to 100% all the time.
I think it's also that, like, we've just heard it so much, right? Like, at this point. I mean, how many times can you hear the same, like, 8-minute epic and pick up on new things? You're probably not anymore, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, my biggest influences at that time period when I was learning guitar was Metallica, Death, Carcass, Slayer, AFI, believe it or not.
AFI. Little silver and gold.
Do you guys remember? Well, did you know AFI as the original punk band? Like, Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes.
Well, I know they're like emo stuff, I guess.
No,
like
they used to be a hardcore punk band, like crazy.
Really?
Davey Havoc was insane. I saw them in Boston. They put on one of those insane shows. Wasn't it big yet? It was when like they were nothing, but it was called Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes, and it's just like like it's crazy even, like, punk stuff.
I just thought they were like an emo band from the start. I had no idea. I don't think I ever really got into them. Like, I never had like an album or anything, So like I only heard the songs that got big. Those were like,
I like mentioning it to people because nobody knows. Same thing with Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray has death metal songs. And they have a new metal album. I'm not joking. I could show you today 2 death metal songs by Sugar Ray. Mark McGrath doing screams. Insane. And he's like, it's a joke song. And he's talking about like running in the house with scissors and grandma's yelling at him or whatever. And he's just screaming. He's like, don't run with scissors.
But can he actually do it?
He can do it. I've seen him live.
I need to. This is going to be something that we need to go
It's so funny hearing Mark McGrath saying, like, put a foot in your mouth because the hole's too big. Like, it's the greatest thing ever.
Exactly. The first thing I think of when I hear Mark McGrath is Scooby-Doo. Like, PG, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not thinking of death metal when I hear Sugar Ray. Like, what's that song that
they had an album
like,
called Lemonade and Brownies and an album called Floored, and they're new metal albums, like close to new metal, hard rock.
Old?
Their first albums.
Their first albums.
Their first albums.
They went into the whole like.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's Fly.
One song with it? Something on my bed. I don't know.
So I have a special heart, and I have a special place in my heart for Sugar Ray, just because I listened to those 2 CDs so much. My mom listened to it. She liked Sugar Ray. And I remember thinking, I'm like, this is Sugar Ray, because then, they did all their every morning there's a
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that's when they blew up. And then I'm like, this is Sugar Ray? I'm like, my mom's like, yes, because she listened to all those bands. Like, she loved.
So your mom was listening to the new Sugar Ray, like the toned down, chill Sugar Ray.
No,
well, you were
no, she was listening to Floored, that heavy one, where it's like shut your mouth. And yeah, she loves metal. She's the one who got me into grunge. Like, I'm a huge grunge fan because of her. So she liked all that heavier rock, sludge kind of stuff. Huge Alice in Chains fans. And she'd make fun of my dad because he liked old music. She was like, your dad listens to all that old shit. He doesn't grow up. It was hilarious.
Classic rock?
Yeah. Which now I love. I can't get enough.
No, you gotta grow and mature to be able to really get the classic rock. Right?
I remember the classic mom lines like, "Yeah, your dad's probably still getting fucking stoned listening."
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, he's still doing that.
Yeah, that's so crazy, man. I had such a different experience with the parents because, like I said, my mom was 100% into country music. Literally listened to nothing but country music. So the Randy Travis, Travis Tritt, Garth Brooks, all them. That's what I heard until I was like, 8 years old. Just nothing else because I didn't know other music existed.
That's great. My grandma listens to metal.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
insane. Like, I don't have a single family member that listens to metal. Like not one, not older or younger or anything.
Yeah, I'll never forget when my uncle was in his ICP stage. Jesus. And he would show my grandma ICP. Seeing my grandma singing "What Is a Juggalo" is the most hilarious fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
I can imagine. I'm trying to like take your experience and put the family members in my life's faces onto it, and it's not happening. It can't happen.
Just imagine going, "What is a juggalo?"
I don't even think I gotta tell you, I don't think I've heard a single Insane Clown Posse song.
Oh man, I guess it was just an Ohio, upstate New York thing. I think at the time.
I know who they are because like they were on wrestling. Like they ended up becoming like a wrestling group, and I think they were on WCW for a while.
Exactly,
like, actually competing as workers. So like that's how I found out about them. And there was like the odd juggalo that would appear in high school. He's just dressed like a clown for whatever reason. You're going, oh, okay, I know what. But I don't think I've ever.
Everyone stayed away from him.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, he wanted them to stay away from him. To be fair, like he didn't want people to go up. Hey, man, what's going on? There was a reason. He was like, please leave me alone.
That's freaking. So let's get to know you a little bit. You want to do the shot fire?
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. I'll try to keep my answers less than 10 seconds.
No, you can go off on a rant if you want. 10 minutes each if you want. All right.
Oh God. Okay.
All right. You ready? It's a little fun. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Oh man, why does everyone say Coke? I hate everyone.
She's not that good, man. Sorry.
Fuck. What about Faygo? You know what Faygo is.
I've never heard of that. I don't know what that is.
Are you fucking serious?
Is this a Texan thing?
No, this is a New York thing. Bang? It came out.
Faygo?
Faygo, like Faygo. That was the ICP drink. That's why nobody would ever drink it. It was a joke back then. Anyways, I thought you would have heard of it for sure. But all right, sorry, PC or Mac?
Mac. No, PC. PC is the answer. PC.
You ready for the dumbest question I'm ever going to ask you this entire interview?
I love dumb questions.
All right, are you a maniac?
I'm a maniac.
Who's your favorite reactor?
Ooh. Me? I'm just kidding.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry. Honestly,
moving on.
I said it. I gotta say, I said it in my stream yesterday, so I gotta be like consistent on this. Whenever I do a reaction to something that I liked, the first page that I go to afterwards is Dicodec.
Oh, seriously? I appreciate that.
I literally said it yesterday.
Reese's or Hershey's?
Hershey's.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Finally. Got him.
Everyone's obsessed with peanut butter.
I fucking hate peanut butter. I'll tell you why later. It's a long story. When dealing with trolls, do you ignore, delete, block, or fight with them?
A little bit of each.
Please give us an example.
I just want to go around. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need that.
I'm the same way, man. I can ignore them one day, and another days I want to write a fucking paragraph.
I mean, it's like I know what I'm supposed to do. I know how I'm supposed to react to these things. But like sometimes you're just in that mood. It's like, he pokes me. I feel like poking him back a little bit.
Yeah. I tell everyone this. Like, I'm like fucking become the petty king sometimes. Like, it's just
pettiness ain't bad as long as it doesn't overtake you.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
All right, hell yeah. Are you loving your anime reactions?
Am I loving doing them?
Yes.
So I'm loving the show.
Okay.
And I'm loving doing the full reactions and getting them up there without the editing part. But the editing has been so much worse on this than it has been for everything else because of the blocks. So every time I edit one of these videos, it gets blocked the first time, usually the second time, and by the third time I could get it up. But I mean, we're talking about processing for hours over and over again, trying to get this shit up there. So I love doing them. I hate trying to get them on YouTube.
So did you know that Dicodec used to do an anime reaction channel? It's called We Lit on Tree.
Did not know that.
I know exactly what you mean. It took us like 48 hours to edit one video. Man, but of course, we would go insane, probably too much. But even doing a regular edit of it was a pain in the ass.
Well, were you trying to, when you say that it would take you like 48 hours to get it, is that because you were trying to like make it cool or because it was getting blocked?
It was getting blocked. But not always. Like My Hero Academia never got blocked, but we would do like zoom ins on our face and add effects and and we didn't know what we were doing at all. And so we were learning.
See, that's
at the
thing.
time.
Like if you don't know, if you're like learning on the fly, right? It takes so much longer in the beginning because you're like searching for what do I do here? Like what am I supposed to be putting here? Yeah. And then when you get used to it, it gets a little easier and you know where you should make the cuts and stuff like that. I like it overall.
Yeah. I was wondering because you started that, and I'm like, that's something I have to do with someone. I have to watch with someone. It would be weird just reacting by myself to it. I don't know how you do it, to be honest.
You think? Why do you think it would be weird? I'm just curious.
I don't know. Like I like watching it in complete silence too. Like I don't want the person talking. That fucking is annoying. I hate it when I'm trying because I get into shows, man. Like I get sucked in, and then I got someone like, oh, that voice is this one actor I'm like, you're taking me out of the story. I want to be in the story, please.
You broke the immersion right there.
Exactly.
Man. Like I was literally in the world, and now I'm in
people can go
dumb reality again.
Exactly. I get sucked in, man. When I watch Marvel movies, I'm like,
yeah, same.
I'm gone.
Same. Dude, let me tell you. Okay, so I went to see Spider-Man, 2 weeks ago or whenever it came out. Yeah. Have you seen the new Spider-Man yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. First of all, fucking loved it. But second of all,
spoilers. There's your warning. Go ahead and say whatever you want.
I'm not going to give any spoilers yet, unless you want to talk about spoilers. But right now, I'm just going to talk about my feelings, my emotions. Okay. I was watching this shit, and I went with my kid. My kid is 13 now, right? He's never shed a tear at a movie before. He's a young teenager. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they don't cry. Us boys, when we were 13, we didn't cry about movies and stuff like that. It takes until you grow up a little bit, mature, start to, relate to the information more. Yep. And I was into it, man. I had tears flowing down my face for like 20 minutes. And I turn over and I saw my son. He's got a tear coming down his face. And immediately I was like, are you okay? Like, I totally was like, I stopped caring about the movie. And I was like, this poor kid, I can't believe he's sad now. Like, I was totally like, it took me another like 10 minutes to get back into the zone.
Bro, I was, I'm tearing up hearing, I feel myself tearing up hearing that story because like just the fact of you like tearing up in front of him is awesome because I remember never seeing my dad cry one time. One time. And I remember going, when you're like, wow, this must be a big deal. You know? You know, it's like that kind of that dad thing, like where like they never say I love you, but when they do say it, it means like
so much more because obviously they felt like they needed to in that moment. Like they really need you to know that. In case you didn't. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I totally get it. Okay, but to be fair, I don't want to give myself too much credit. Like I am, it's so easy to make me fucking cry. I don't normally cry.
I'm the same way, dude.
But if you put on something super happy or something sad on a screen in front of me, I mean, there's gonna be tears. Like
it's because you're immersed. You're immersed in it. That's why. Like dude, people don't get it.
I see people well up, and I well up. It's just like a natural reaction.
My wife makes fun of me, not makes fun of me, but I like try to hide it from her. She's like, "Are you crying?" No.
That's what Zach would do to me.
And she's not crying at all. And I'm like, and I'm over there going,
do you not feel things like I had this my friend, one of my buddies. I made him watch. Okay, have you ever seen the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I talk about this way too much.
Okay? I have a intimate relationship with that show. Not intimate, I shouldn't say. I have a really close connection to that show because my mom and I would do one thing. We watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Hercules, Xena Warrior Princess, and those were like the only things that we would do together.
The Tuesday night shows.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Tuesday night shows. And it was my mom and I, that's the only way we could connect. We would always watch movies together. That's why I'm so obsessed with movies. And we just get into it. Yeah.
I get that 100%. Like with me and my stepdad, we have literally we can't talk about anything except for work. Like it's the only thing that we connect on also. so like he'll call me and like he'll call me because he wants to talk to me, you know, but he'll have nothing to say. So like after 30 seconds, it just like goes into so work, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, maybe we should find something to watch together. So we have a little more. But anyway, so I was talking about it. So I brought that up because I had a friend that there's several episodes of that show that just make me bawl my eyes out.
Yep.
And I made my friend watch it with me. And the saddest episode of the show, I mean, we're talking about one of the saddest episodes of TV that's ever been written, in my opinion. Where you have to watch somebody be dead for a whole episode.
Yep.
It ended, and I go, hey, how'd you feel about that?
How'd you feel?
And he goes, it's kind of boring. And I was just like, can we? Who are you? Like,
it didn't age.
How are we friends?
It's so fun. I go back and watch it. It doesn't feel the same as when I was younger. I don't know why. But I remember when Angel was gone from the show and I was pissed or whatever. You remember in the beginning where they leave and they took it out? I remember being pissed for so long, and I got physically upset when they had a spin-off show on it, and I refused to watch it.
I think a lot of people felt the same as you, honestly. You're not alone in that camp, my dude.
I was 13.
Same, dude.
I'm pissed.
I was on the other end of the spectrum, though. I was just like, oh, more? I get 2 shows now? Just give it all. I'll take it all. I'll ingest this stuff and inject it into my veins.
Did you watch like the Xena Warrior Princess and Hercules and all that?
I watched Xena more than Hercules.
Me too.
But to be fair, the reason that I was watching Xena was because my sister watched a lot of Xena. So I was like the Buffy fan. She was the Xena fan. And we'd kind of just like watch each other's shows when we were around. But I was never like super into it. Yeah. You know? I was more into like
Hercules was on too early. So we always missed it.
What was that? That was like the 7:00 show?
Yeah, I think so. So there's some reason why we always missed it.
Yeah,
Xena was like, perfect timing.
I think it was like Hercules was 7, and then Xena was 8, and Buffy was 9, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But I was more of like I was Boy Meets World. Like I was the TGIF. Like that was my jam, right?
Boy Meets World. Oh my God, classic. Classic.
Those were the shows I was rocking out to.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Oh, we're like the same age. I'm 33. Not much different.
Oh, I'm older than you.
I thought you were younger than me for some reason.
People say that I have a baby face. I've been trying to avoid having a baby face my whole life by growing a giant beard as often as I can. But it doesn't seem to help. People still think, when I ask people now, they say, we're 28, 29. Like, no, dude, I'm an old man. I have no hair left.
My wife gets upset if I shave. She always asks me, she's like, why did you shave? I'm not happy with this. Like she
likes the fur.
She gets upset. Very upset. I caught her on video. We did a short about it.
First of all, I'm going to need to see you babyface. But second of all, it's like the babies. You know, the babies that see their dad for the first time after they've shaved their beard off, and they're like, who was that? That's not my dad right there.
Well, speaking of baby faces, you watched the Babymetal cover? You would have saw it in that. Have you seen that yet?
I did watch that, man. I watched that was beautiful. I wanted to do a reaction to it, but it was during the flu season, so I wasn't recording any videos. I just had to enjoy that on my bed solo. You guys did a good job though. You were very babyface in that one, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it was like they voted for me to shave. Yeah, some people say I look like I'm 12. That's what Teresa said. Last question.
Yeah.
Have you heard a Dicodec original yet?
Nope.
Awesome. We're going to have to show you a video today.
Sweet.
It's ridiculous.
You're going to do a reaction?
Yeah, then you can ask.
Love it.
I already know what everybody's going to vote on for that one. It's going to be La Casa Negra. The Black House.
I just want to like scroll through your channel right now and see like what originals you got going on here.
A lot of people don't know that we do originals because we haven't been doing a lot of music videos, but we're trying to change that around this
honestly I assumed that you guys did originals, but I've just never seen them pop up before. So
it's because they came out before the channel started like taking off, I guess you could say. Like they were way before. They were like the first videos, and then the covers are the most recent, of course, because we did Band-Maid, Babymetal, we did Maximum Hormone. So we covered all three of those bands because our singer, Vicky, she can sing in Japanese. She can't speak Japanese, but she can sing in Japanese. So actually, this is her husband's shirt, Nam's Hungry. Shout out to them. Oh, yeah. Before we keep going further, though, guys, again, I want to thank you so much for coming on, man. And this is not the end, guys. I just want to thank you. I forgot to thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. And I pinned your Patreon link in the chat, guys. So make sure you go support him if you guys have the means to do so.
Sir. Yeah,
check out his Patreon.
Just so you know, the Patreon it's like anime and lots of BTS for the $5 and up tiers, and all the commissioned requests are sold out. They usually are, but the $1 tier per month is like where I put all the Patreon requests, and that's where all the metal ends up being. So
gotcha.
the metal actually ends up being the cheapest one to get. So if you just scroll through, there's probably like 150, 200 Patreon requests there of bands that I haven't put onto YouTube before.
Chat, is my auto posting? It doesn't look like it is. I had an auto link. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. I did have it on Stream Elements, but it looks like it's not showing up. Shell, thank you for the super chat, man. I really appreciate it. But yeah, subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Here's why you should, because he likes Band-Maid. Do you like Maximum Hormone? That one I was iffy about. I didn't get a general consensus from your two Maximum Hormone videos.
So actually, I listened to them for the third time yesterday on stream. And the one that I heard yesterday was probably my favorite song by them. I thought it was
do you remember what song it was?
It was an OST, and it was shorter than the other ones. I think it was called
What's Up, People? Or Kami.
It was called Kamigami.
Yeah.
Something like that.
We're still waiting for the full song for that.
Yeah, it was only a minute and a half, but like I watched it twice because I wanted to watch it with the anime promo that they designed it with. And I thought like it just sounded so I loved how it kind of like carried. You know, it was like it started out really heavy, very like a metal song, and then by the end it was just like happy, chilling, like bobbing your head. I was really into it. And that's their whole jam, you know, that sort of style. But like yeah, that one kind of, I was iffy about them after the first one. After the second one, I was more on board. Yeah. After the third one, I'm even more on board. So I'm still on my way. Yeah. I need to hear more than 3 songs, you know?
What I notice from like just the bands you mentioned, like I've talked about this before, everyone has specific melodies that they're fans of. Like you like melodic metal, I like melodic metal, but what I've noticed from the bands you mentioned, like Soilwork and In Flames, those are actually bands I wasn't a fan of, and I knew I should like them, but I found out later as I dived in music theory that we have particular keys that certain people like. And I've noticed that I lean towards like the MTH melodies. Like I like the Avenged Sevenfold, All That Remains stuff. And I've noticed like those keys of songs are different from the other metalcore groups, you know, at the time when they were heavy.
Yes.
I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I 100% did. And I do. And here's the problem with me not being a trained musician, because I learned on my own. You know, like I went to lessons for like 3 months and was like, this is so boring. I did the same thing. Give me guitartabs.com and I'm good to go. Like to amateurs, that's how I learned.
Yeah, same. I didn't get into like music theory until later on. Probably I would say the past 6 years. But I got obsessed with it. I just wanted to know, you know, like
well, you feel as you learn that stuff, you feel a lot more confident being able to speak about it too. Well, yeah, and not as dumb as me though, because I haven't even started it yet. So, but like, what I'm saying is like, I notice that stuff too. Like I see these things in my head, but they're always abstract, you know? So it's like, I don't know how to articulate. I don't know the keys, you know? I don't know all the scales. So I don't know how to say exactly what the sound is that I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I hear it, I'm like, that's the one. That's the one that's geared directly towards me.
Exactly.
I will say All That Remains, by the way, they have a song that is in the key that I love. It's what's it called? Starts with a C. Give me All That Remains best songs.
Oh my god. I don't know why 2 Weeks came into my head, but I doubt it's that one.
2 Weeks is a really good song.
This Calling?
Also, but
This Calling?
No, it's on Guitar Hero, I think.
Oh shit. I never played.
I want to say like it's Cronus or something like that. Like
This Calling was on Guitar Hero.
Chiron.
Is that a newer song? I only listened to the first 3 albums. I don't think it was on the first three or 4 albums. I stopped listening after the 2 Weeks album.
Oh, okay. I think it was on the one after that album.
Is that where they got heavy again? Because there was a period where
this song is pretty heavy.
Yeah, because they got soft.
It's on Overcome. It was 2008.
Oh yeah, that's the last album I loved. Why I don't know why I don't recognize it. That's a great album. I don't remember that song name though.
That song is like the chorus of that song is the perfect harmony to me of like catchy while still remaining heavy metal. Like it's just got this beautiful melody of like it's not even doing that lead. Yeah, it's not like a melodic lead. It's just the way it's just the notes that they chose. It's just the scale that it's in.
Yeah,
but it sounds really catchy. But they don't take away from any of the heaviness throughout it. And I love that. If you could pull that off, that's like
honestly
amazing to me.
I'm going to tell you this. You'll love that album. It actually ended up, even though I didn't know the name of that song, but that did become more my favorite as time went on. It's the same album that has 2 Weeks on it. I have a feeling you'll love it. I have a feeling you'll love it because it's a very hard rock with metal sound in some instances. Kind of, it's interesting. It's a good album. It's actually a really good album.
I've definitely listened to several of the tracks on it. I don't know if I ever actually own the album. I know This Calling. I know 2 Weeks. You know, like these are tracks that I was really, really into when they first came out. But I don't think it was because I had any of the albums. I think I used to get those. A lot of those. I mean, we're taking it back a bit now, but like when we used to listen to CDs, I would get those like compilation metal albums that would just like pop up. And like Metal Revolver, they would send you like you'd get like an album sometimes. Yeah. And be like, here's like 12 of the newest cool tracks.
Do you remember Trust Kill Records? That was like when metalcore was starting to blow up, like Hopes Fall and all that stuff. They would send out albums like that, but that was like more. That's when All That Remains was on those albums before they like blew up. With
see, that's where
Deepest
I knew
Gray.
Them from. Like, and then like I said, they were in Guitar Hero. A couple of their songs I think were in Guitar Hero. So like that's where I started listening. And then I had friends that were like really into them. Like most of my buddies were more into nu metal than I was, while I was kind of like bumping around the different genres. Like I'd find, I was In Flames like. Ride or Die, man. Like In Flames to me was like the best band to ever exist until they stopped being the best band to ever exist.
Well, they were one of the first with 7 strings, like that was playing that style of music. They were like the first, like nobody was playing metalcore with a 7 string at that point in time. It was just Korn, and like all of a sudden, I don't even know. Like,
did people start doing that after them? I feel like
Korn made it popular. And In Flames did. I always tell everyone, In Flames secretly made it really popular with the metalcore groups. And Korn, of course, blew it mainstream. Like, made it cool to go to ridiculously low tunings, to letters on the alphabet that don't exist.
Yeah, seriously. They would just drop those strings, man. Like, I don't even know. I always thought, like, you have to have a different style of songwriting in your head in order to be able to write with notes that low, right? Because it sounds different, even though you're even though you're dropping octaves, so it's still technically the same notes, it still feels weird when it's that dropped, unless you change your style of writing, right? Like if I tried to write a song the normal way that I would, but drop it down to like drop E or whatever the fuck they're doing down there, like it would sound terrible, So they have to like rearrange the thought processes in order to write that too, which I find really impressive.
Do you still play a lot? Do you still play a lot and write? No.
Never. I got my Line 6 right here, my Line 6 amp. Just in case I feel like plugging it in every once in a while I do.
Well, why'd you stop? Just curious. Why'd you stop?
So I was in the band Talk Desire for a while, and I had a kid, and it got harder to make its band practice. And after a couple of years of that, I was just like, this can't happen anymore. And they were about to go perform in Tokyo. They were going to Tokyo for a show. Damn. Yeah, it was crazy, right? And then like a week before they went, they were like, you haven't showed up to the last 4 band practices. I'm not sure you should come. And I was kind of like, what? And then I was like, no, they're right. I probably shouldn't. And that was the end of me being in the band. But I tried to play a little bit more after that, but I honestly just couldn't find the motivation when it wasn't for songwriting purposes. I never really enjoyed, not that I was against it, but like the performance aspect of it while being fun wasn't my favorite part. It was all about like the mental part. Like, I'm not that great of a guitarist, but I loved writing the music. So like that's why a reaction channel is honestly perfect for me, because I can't do the things I'm saying, but I can understand them, you know?
Yeah.
So I just kind of stopped because I was just like, if I'm not writing for a band, I don't really feel like playing. I don't really feel like I'm getting anything out of it. I'll tell you this though, if I knew how to sing, I think at some point I probably would have tried to do my own solo thing, but when I sing, I sound like a cat in a garbage disposal. So, you know, not going to do it.
I feel you on that. Like the writing aspect's where it's at for me, because I feel like I'm average at every instrument that I play. Like I do play drums, bass, guitar, sing, but I'm just average at it. But it's really, I just take pride in the writing as much as I can.
I think that's the most important part, honestly. Like you can write a fantastic song and not be the best guitarist in the world. Yeah. You could be the best guitarist in the world and not be able to write music. Yeah. At the end of the day, what matters is the music that's created from it. Yeah. So it's more important to be a good writer. In my opinion, it's more important to be a good writer than it is to be a good player. Yeah. I didn't know that you played all those instruments. That's really impressive, though. Especially the drums.
And that's why I couldn't get good at anything, because I spread myself too thin. I can't, I'm one of those people that I'll learn something really fast. I'll never forget, I was teaching, I still do teach. I do teach lessons here and there. It was funny. So I was in the studio.
Guitar lessons or?
Guitar lessons, bass lessons, keyboard lessons, drum lessons.
Oh, you play keyboard too?
Yeah. So there's a funny story with the keyboard. I still suck at it, really bad actually, but I'm good enough. So I'll never forget.
That you could give lessons, apparently.
I give lessons, yeah, because I understand music theory. That piano helped me learn music theory. So I remember going to the studio, and the guy's like, you know, I'm just one of those crazy people. He's like, so you play piano? I'm like, yep. Never played in my life. Well, I played one. I played in 7th grade. Like, that was... So he's like, all right, cool. I got 2 students for you, 7 and 8. I'm like, perfect. So I went, got a bunch of books. I'm like, all right, I've got to get this down. And I just stayed a lesson ahead every time. Learn music theory. This is about 6 years ago. And that's how I learned music theory.
That was literally like the epitome of fake it till you make it. Like you just exemplified what it's like.
But you got to actually learn it
without knowing what to do in the job, but still succeeding at it. Like that's how I feel every time I get a new job. They're like, okay, go.
I just knew I could do it because I play guitar. I'm like, I can do piano. I play bass.
All you really had to do was say to yourself, okay, I can figure this out before the 8-year-olds, right?
Yeah. So I'm over there playing Twinkle Had a Little Star like a pro, and I pull out the guitar, like play on guitar too, and they're like, wow, you're so good. I remember hearing that. They're like, their mom would come in and be like, oh my God, you're really good, because I write. Like, just give me something to tinker with, and I'll go do, and I'll just write a song, even though it might not make any sense. And so I remember the way I learned stuff. So I wrote 2 songs on the piano while learning all that stuff. So when the parents would come in, I'd just play songs I wrote on the piano.
there you go. And they'd be like, wow.
Like, what is that? I wrote it. Oh, you must be good.
Yeah, anytime somebody would come over, I would just play Wonderwall, and they would be like, oh, you're such a good guitarist. And I'd be like, yeah, I know 4 chords. Check it out. And especially if you do it around a fire pit, then people are like, wow, this guy's the best. Like,
yeah.
I don't have the work ethic that you have, my dude. Like, there's no way that I could, like, consistently be actively learning new things all the time, because my head just, I just get so tired. Like, I'll sit here and I'm like, yesterday, for example, I did like a 3-hour stream or whatever, and then I did the editing for Demon Slayer, and like a total that probably all took about 6 or 7 hours of the day. And I've been trying to learn Spanish. And the first thing that I did was when I woke up yesterday was I'm going to spend an hour tonight learning more Spanish, you know?
Yeah.
And as soon as I was done with that stuff, I was just like, I just need to lay down, man. Like, I just need to lay down and chill. And you seem like you're the type of person that would be like, okay, Spanish, French, and Ukrainian, let's go.
You want to hear something funny? I'm learning Spanish.
Hey, there you go.
My wife speaks Spanish fluently, so I have really no excuse. But
is she Spanish or is she just
Yeah, she's from Mexico. She's from Juarez, cool. Mexico. Yeah. So like we practice, but she gets really frustrated with me. Like, how do you say this? How do you say this? Like, I'm always bugging her to the point where she's like, fucking stop asking me questions. No, get out the fuck out of here.
And you probably say it in like a super gringo accent too, or
yeah,
like,
no, I think
sounds like an American.
I don't sound as bad as other people. There's other people that sound really bad. Like,
yeah, I sound terrible.
Pretty
I
obvious.
sound like a white guy saying Spanish words like every time.
People
like I used to work with. It was me and just the Spanish women, right? It was at my old job. I was the manager, and my employees were all three of them were fluent Spanish speakers. They came from South America. And I would say things that I knew how to say because I took 12 years of Spanish. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like in school, like I know how to speak some of it. I would say them and I would think that I was perfect. And they would literally look at me like I was crazy, like a deer in headlights. Like, what? What did you just say? I'd be like, hola. And they'd be like, oh, he means, oh, hola. And I'd be like, oh, fuck you. Like, I'm really bad at this.
Well, there's some dicks, okay? Because when I was in Guadalajara, I had no problem speaking Spanish with people, with most of them. They're actually really nice. And of course, you know, I know the slang more so. And I made sure I learned the slang because I knew I couldn't go over there and be like, hola, because that's a dead giveaway that you don't really know that.
Yeah. Like, that's the word that everybody knows that doesn't speak Spanish.
Yeah, it's just like when people say like buenos dias or buen dia, like good day, but you don't hear that. That's not in the books. No, that's like slang. It's not slang, but people. That's the short way. So, but I was fortunate. Like I'm with her family over there, so I hear how they cut off certain words and how they go like, you know. Like, because normally people would be like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And but no, really, over there, you want to be like, hey, buen dia. You know, like, like,
exactly.
The
it's
slang like we do.
That,
like, hey, what's up? You know, like.
Yeah, and hey, what's up? That like, if you were learning how to speak English, it would be like, hello, how are you? Right? Like, hey, what's up? What's up is not.
Because imagine if I went up to you, I go up to you and I go, hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'd be like,
you'd be like, Alan, you're fucking weird.
So why did he say that so properly?
Yeah, so like when I go up to someone like, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yeah, like it's the same thing, right? Like it's the same thing. But if somebody walks up to me and they're like, yo, what's going on, man? I'd be like, yeah, this guy knows how to speak. You know, yo, what's going on, man? But like, if you were to actually like take that away, like, why are you adding the man on the end of it? Like, what is yo in comparison to hello? You know what I mean? Like, it's a totally different thing. Which is why I think every time I say anything, learning a different language to me is like impossible because of that. You know, especially English. Though we speak crazy.
Yeah, and we can't even speak English properly, but
no, we say so many things that are wrong. You know, like a lot of the words that we use mean the opposite of what they actually are intended to mean.
And it gets worse. Every year it gets worse.
Every year it gets worse. 100%.
Like
100%.
Because then you know what era you're from, right? They're like, oh, you grew up in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you grew up in the 80s.
I still have that like 90s, like early 2000s lingo stuck in my brain, you know, and people are just like, dude, what are you, an old man? I'm like, no, my dad is an old man. Like he said things like, you know, I can't even think of
I can't think of that.
Like, I'm not old enough to think of those words anymore. But like the words that I say, people that like my son is like, what? What did you just say?
Yeah.
Like,
or what's something I always say? Like, Eric was always on top of it. He would always keep up with the slang, and some of the words would drive me nuts. I'd be like, I fucking refuse to say that. I'm like, oh my God, I'm becoming that old man. God damn it.
The TikTok slang? The new TikTok slang?
Or like, when people were going like yeet and all that shit, I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that.
Is yeet gone? Are we out of the?
I think we're out.
Is it out?
What's the words now? Let's see what the chat says. Chat, what are the words now? Do you guys know?
Is there anybody in the chat under the age of 30 right now that can explain this to us?
Yeah, we got any 19-year-olds in the chat?
Bro, I just started using Tick Tock like I don't know, a couple weeks ago.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. My condolences to your brain. There's I would say that there's a 50-50 split of content between this is the worst thing that I've ever seen in my life and that was pretty funny. You know, like it never hits like the level of that was hilarious. I'm laughing out loud. But I just want to take that was pretty funny. Let's have a moment of silence for Rich's brain right now. Let's take a moment of silence because it might be dead in the next week or so. And I'm sorry to your viewers and loyal subscribers because after you watch a week worth of TikTok, you're going to be like...
Yeah, and that's what happens. You sit in bed and you go, okay, I'm awake, I guess. All right, here's a big, oh, that was so stupid. Let's go to the next one. Oh, that was so stupid. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Hour and a half later, at least a couple of those were. No, they were all pretty bad. I just wasted an hour and a half of my life.
It's like you come like, I've done it too, man. That's why I had to delete apps off my phone. Because I'm one of those people, if I know or feel that I wasn't productive, I get anxiety. Like, I was laid out in bed after the 25th released the music video, and I completely passed out for a week straight. And I was stuck in bed. And I have never felt so fucking like crazy. And I had the insane suicidal thoughts that I've never had in my entire life just because I was laying there. Like after 2 days, just because I was chilling, I was like, chilling. I'm gonna chill and watch some movies, and I lasted a day. The second day, I'm just like, and then the third day, I started getting physically pissed off. Like, why the fuck am I sick? Like literally out loud, like punching my pillow, like pissed off. Because I don't get sick. So when I was like that sick, I was like, this is fucking bullshit. And then like even during the time, I was like, I am never getting sick again. That's like, dude. And after that week, I don't eat shit anymore. Like I just eat nothing but like healthy shit all the time now. Stop eating out. That's how crazy I get. I'm like, when I'm determined, I'm like, fuck this. I'm never getting sick again because I'm never being laid out for a week doing nothing.
I hear you, man. Like, I mean, I gotta say, I'm listening to that and I'm just thinking like, do we have a lot of similarities that we've established so far?
Yeah.
But that is not one of those where I do not like I can sit there for 4 straight days without thinking about a single thing. Like I could just do that.
I fucking hate you so much that you can do that.
At the same time, dude, no, I hate you too because I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you like have this sort of like motivation for life, right? Like you're inspired to continue making a success out of yourself in life, which is something that I really admire in a person.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I did when I was younger, and I think that I grew to a point where like I started to feel like comfort was more important than success or finances or anything like that. So at this point, I'm just happy with, am I able to provide for my kid? Yes. Good. Am I able to provide for myself? Who cares? I don't really care if I can provide for myself as long as I'm providing for my kid. So
you're
like
in that settle
mode. I want that. What you have though, that sort of like push to get to the next level and like keep getting bigger and larger and more.
I've had my downfalls, so I've definitely had moments where like I don't want to do anything, right? Like I've fallen out of music because of the reaction channel, believe it or not. I stopped practicing.
It happens.
And then I was like,
and also just listening to music sometimes because of the reaction channel.
Oh yeah, I would be in the car. I'm like, I wanted silence. Nothing. Because
or I'll put on like a podcast, just like somebody talking, because I don't want to hear me. I don't want to break. I don't know if it's the same for you, but like when I hear music, it's like an automatic analyzer in my brain.
Yes,
like, listen to it.
That's why I drink. That's why I used to drink. I have to drink sometimes because it won't fucking shut up. Your brain just is like
frustrating, right? Like
stop talking.
People, when I get the comments on my videos that are like, I don't know how you get into this music when you keep like, having to pause it. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. My brain is on overdrive right now. Like I'm thinking about 30 different things that just happened in the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If I don't pause right now, I'm gonna forget all of that. Like I need to pause right now. I need to break it down. I need to understand it in my head.
That's me 100%. That's me 100%. 100%.
Yeah, so it's hard sometimes when you just get into a car and you put on a song and you're like, okay, I just want to chill, but it's like your brain is going, oh, what did he just do right there? Like, why did he do that? Blah blah blah. And you're like, damn, can I even enjoy this anymore? Like, can I?
Eric can do it. He was able to do it. And he used to hate hearing this from me. I would tell him, like, I don't like going to concerts because the only thing I can think about is being on stage. I want to be up there. I would just feel jealousy the entire time. Like, I want to be playing on there. Why the fuck am I not playing on stage right now? Why am I here? But I had to teach myself to enjoy it, you know, because I did. And I did. Now I'm better about it. And now I got a better balance because I went down a really bad drinking hole when I started this channel because I didn't realize what it was because of. And then I finally figured out it's because I stopped playing. And then I remembered, Ellen, you used to play all the time. And it was like that. I needed the fix of playing because I was getting irritable.
And you were replacing it with something else.
Yeah.
Like it was a different.
And I was replacing it with drinking.
Which is way worse.
Which
like
is way worse.
I don't think there's a single benefit for replacing playing music with drinking alcohol.
What are you talking about? There's lots of benefits. You sweat, you dance.
Yeah, for that night. You might enjoy that night a little bit more. Next day, maybe not.
You just drink again.
Man, I wish I was the same way where it was like I was obsessed with writing also, and like I said, and until a certain point, like when I had a kid, a lot of things changed, and it was like that sounds so cliche, you know, like when you have a kid, your life changes, blah blah blah. Like it's true. I hate to just be that guy and like keep pushing that whole idea, but as soon as I had the kid, it was like my interest in becoming a successful musician was like really lowered. And
see, for me, it was opposite. I was like, I gotta make it. I was like, I gotta make it. Like,
because this is your thing.
I gotta find alternatives. Because and once I stop learning something, if I'm not learning at the job, I lose interest immediately. I was a district manager for Carl's Jr. that owns Hardee's. And I loved the job. I was so weird. Everyone's like, you work at fast food? I'm like, I fucking love it because it was so much learning. And I became a manager, general manager, district manager, ran 8 stores. And bro, I fucking got bored.
Wow, I don't know how you got bored doing that.
And then people were like, because it's tedious. Once it becomes tedious, I don't like it. That's why I learned so many instruments. And people were like, I couldn't move up anymore because it was a family franchise. So district manager was the highest I could go. And I'm like, I want to be a VP. I want to be CEO. I want to do this. And then I just got super depressed because I was stuck. I couldn't go anywhere. So that's why I like doing the channel because there is no cap, you know.
Did you quit the job?
I quit everything and did YouTube full time. I saved up a shit ton of money, sold my house, which I regret doing because I realized later I could just rent it out the rooms. But I sold both my properties, sold my vehicle that I had. I sold everything and I bought a trailer for $5,000, put on a plot of land next to my wife's parents' house and put the family there. They were okay with it. I'm like, I got to make this happen because they saw that I was depressed anyways. And I was like, all right, time to go. YouTube full time. Let's go.
How many people told you were insane for that?
Oh, fucking a lot. They looked at, they would, oh, you don't care about your kids. You don't care about your family.
Of course they're going to say shit like that. That drives me crazy. It's like, dude, we only live once. I'm sorry, but like, we got to try to make this the best life that we could have. Like, even if there are some sacrifices that you have to make, as long as you know how to take care of the things that you actually have to take care of, like that's
Yeah.
But
my
whole
wife,
mentality drives me nuts.
she's a saint, of course. She dealt with it, right? She watched me go through the spiral of like emotions because I have no control over my emotions at all back then. Still don't. But so it's been kind of learned a little late, but it's coming together.
It's cool though that you did that, man. It's hard to do that. Like, so what was that? A couple years ago?
2019.
2009. So yeah, literally, wow, like right before the pandemic hit, huh?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, I was making like $80K a year. Like, I had a really good job. I made myself dirt poor.
You chose to make your life harder. You actively were like, this is going to be more of a struggle.
It's weird. It's like my brain does that. Like, life's on easy mode right now. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, boom.
No, I'm the opposite of that. Like, the second my life goes on easy mode, I'm like, okay, stop. Don't move. Just stay right here for the rest of time. We'll be okay, guys. Like, we don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah, I could have stuck it out. It's just, but it was, to me, it's like brain rotting. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I will say that I understand it though, because I did, as much as I'm talking about how, I like to joke about how lazy I am and stuff like that, and
it's a defense mechanism too. Sometimes
a little bit. I mean, I literally, 6 months ago, I had the choice between moving out to Arizona for my job. My business was
oh shit, you would have been real close to me.
Yeah, it would have been close. We would have been right around the corner. And they bought the company and they were moving everything out to Arizona for the operations. And like, I was offered to go out there, and I thought to myself, like, I could do that. Like, and I'll keep making, I was doing pretty well too, like I said, I was running the shop over there, and they were like, we'll offer you, you'll be okay financially if you come out here. And I was just like, dude, you know what, man? Like, right now, I'm making about half as much as I need to be making to feel comfortable on YouTube. Yeah. And I think that if I just focus on this for like a year, I might be able to make all of it, And this is so much more fun than that, And this is just like, if I can make this work, that's ultimate. It's the ultimate, right? And that's why you're doing what you're doing.
It's more fulfilling. Yeah.
Oh,
it really is. I'm really bad because I throw. It's so funny. I used to be like not a spender, and now I just throw my money away. I give it to people, but because I do giveaways and stuff on Twitch. But sometimes I go over.
It's sort of an investment, though, right? Like, stuff like that is an investment. You're actively like putting money, when you're putting money into giveaways and stuff like that. You're actually putting money into your channel, right? Like, people keep coming back, and it makes their time worthy and your time worthy.
The problem was, though, I would get drunk.
That is a problem sometimes,
and I'd wake up to giving away like $500 worth of shit.
Yeah, maybe don't get drunk before you give your money away. I mean, you can get drunk after you give your money away if you want to. I wouldn't. I don't know if that's the right state of mind for that. I see. Now, here's the thing. I used to be very similarly where it was like if I got really stressed out or something like that, I would drink a lot too.
Yeah.
And when I turned like around my early 30s, I just stopped. It started. I went from like being able to get drunk to just going from sober to sick when I would drink alcohol. So I literally haven't gotten like, to that fun point of like drinking in years at this point, So I didn't have to quit drinking. My body forced me to quit drinking. Yeah. So I'm
not getting younger.
I never have to deal with that.
Either. What? We're not getting younger either. Like,
it hits,
exactly. It hits a little different. I didn't believe
my
people.
Body totally gave up on it.
I'm a stubborn motherfucker. People are like, it's going to change when you get older. I'm like, no, well, I'm going to be young forever.
Yeah, I was the same way. And you know what it is? Like, my mentality is still pretty similar to when I was younger. Like, I still like a lot of the same things I liked when I was younger. I still think the same way. It's just that my body is no longer capable of handling it. It's just this is shutting down. This is still like, let's play video games.
Yeah, what's funny? I feel like as I've gotten older, my body and my brain are finally like meeting each other. They finally have met. They met a couple years ago, and they say, hey, body. Body's like, hey, brain, let's have a conversation about what's been going on for the past 10 years. Let's talk about this.
You probably had some old man brain already before your body got there, you know, like you were already thinking.
We also threw the dick in the party too, you know, we couldn't leave him out, you know, we had to get all three people together because, you know, every part. But sorry guys, body's not part of the dick, so like it's a separate thing.
It's got its own brain too, so it's technically not a part of the body or the brain.
It's like, all right, so we had a conversation, and you know, we're like, you know, all right, let's link up, let's get our shit together.
We haven't really been matching up perfectly lately. Maybe we should just hold hands for a little while. See where that goes.
Yeah,
maybe we'll end up in the same spot.
I think if we work together, like they do, like you know, in restaurants and teams, we might be able to do something with this meat vehicle going on right now.
Stop talking shit about each other while the other one's not listening. You know, like this isn't going to help us out in any way. It's just inner conflict all the time. And so I feel like mine was almost, again, it was like the opposite, where like I have this little kid brain in my head all the time, but my body's always just felt like an old man that doesn't want to move out of my chair.
Oh, man.
Now I'm finally like maturing in the brain area and the body, but the body's still like 10 years ahead. It's like,
oh man. All right, I'm gonna ask you some questions on here. I don't think I
shoot.
We already talked about that. I had. Oh yeah. Let's get into some. Let's get into some of the artists that we've reacted to. A lot of the same artists, and with Band-Maid, I watched your Black Hole reaction again. We had the similar thing. I don't know if you know this. You might. I became a Band-Maid fan more so than ever from Unseen World. That's my favorite album, hands down.
Same.
I like it better. It's probably because I play music, honestly. I tell everyone, like, this is for the other albums, I see why people like those better, but my biases, like, lead towards that album, Unseen World. Right. And so it's an interesting conversation to have because because I get it. I'm like, because it's so technical. It was like fucking blew my mind. Like when I was listening to Black Hole and I was just like getting lost and I was watching you do the same thing. It's like, I remember I froze. Like if you watch my reaction, I'm just like, what the fuck am I listening to? I've never heard.
It doesn't sound like any of their other songs either up to that point. So you're like, whoa, where'd that come from?
It was very reminiscent of Dillinger Escape Plan when they did their rock stuff. It was very similar to that. It was take One of Us Is the Killer album. There is some metal songs on there, but they have very similar hard rock, very proggy tech, and it just reminded me of. I fucking fell in love with the album.
Yeah, but I always thought of them as sort of like prog rock group. To tell you the truth, Dillinger. I haven't listened to too much of their stuff. I always thought that they were generally more prog.
Yeah, they had heavy metal, and it's not really that good, to be honest. I don't like their screaming stuff where they're like. But when they did the hard rock shit and he started singing, I was like, holy fuck, this is good. But I'll have to show you some songs sometimes because I know you would like them just because of the Band-Maid reactions that I've seen from you. But But I also heard you say that you love female vocals more than male vocals, and I'm curious to why. What is it about the tone that just tickles your fancy? I guess more so.
Let me think about that. This might be one of the few questions that you can give me that I don't actually have an answer to, because I've thought about this myself. You know, like why do I like that sort of bright sound better?
It's the country.
It could be. I mean, most of the country music I listen to is sung by guys.
They always have bright mixes, though. They're always bright sounds in the guitar and everything.
When you take into account like not just the vocals, the whole instrument, all the instruments, then that's true. I think part of it is a mental sort of. I grew up not hearing many rock bands with female vocalists, and when I was, introduced to them, I think part of it, as much as it's just the sound that I like, also, I think it's also that I just didn't really know that there was this many talented bands out there with a female-led vocal. Sure. you know?
Me
and
neither.
So when I started hearing it, I was like, oh shit, this is actually really cool. And then when I started seeing that there were like all female bands, like, I don't know, man, like it's part of it's like the quality aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like
it's refreshing.
It's cool. Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see. Like, I feel like in America, especially when it comes to rock bands, it's like the females are just like, they're barely given any respect, you know?
Yeah.
So once I, like, especially Band-Maid, I was like, wow, they're all good at their instruments. I love the vocals. I love the songwriting. I was like, damn, dude, like this is quality ass music, and not just because there's a gimmick attached to it.
Yeah.
Not just because, hey, look, we're an all-female band and we're wearing maid costumes. That might get you in the door, but that's not how you stay in the house, you know? But they've stayed in the house because of the talent. So I do think that there's just overall the sound of it. I do like I was a big Christina Aguilera fan. I really like really talented female vocals, but you know, I like Steven Tyler and Marilyn Manson and stuff too. I like their vocal styles also. I think it's a little bit of everything.
I tell everyone this. The thing that I have an issue with all female bands is the fans. Mm-hmm. Some of the fans, I really do like. I've been like, it's always a debate with me because, like, with Band-Maid, like, there's a lot of people that like them for more than reasons, just the music, which is totally fine. I totally get it, but stop bullshitting yourself. Like, you know what I mean? And like, and it's sad because I like to recognize them for the musicianship because they're legit good musicians. Like, legit good musicians. I don't give a fuck if they're females or guys. If they were all guys, I would still love it. That's what I'm trying to say. I
get you. You're just saying that, like, the sex, the gender, it just doesn't have an effect on you.
Yeah, because, that's just me being like that because I've been seeing it like that for a while. There's just certain fans that just rub me the wrong way. I'm just like, because I'm not one of those people, and I understand fans is fanatics, right? And they're obsessed with them, but like they're obsessed with them beyond reason. In my opinion, and it's just like, fuck, I mean, you've seen
Twitter, right? Like,
it's
that's what it is.
It really bothers me when people are just like, they can do no wrong. Like, this is the greatest thing in the world just because they're females. No, they're really fucking good because they play really good. Like, let's.
Like, are you just into them because they look cute, or are you into them because you appreciate their music?
Which is fine. That's totally fine. Like,
as long as you admit it, as long as you're being honest.
Don't bullshit me here. You know,
I get that too.
That's why I loved your reaction, because you straight up said it. You're like, I fucking love the vocals, I love the music, and she's hot. Or whatever I think you said about Miku. I'm like, wow, somebody that fucking actually just says it. Like, instead of fucking, like, I was like, you know?
I feel the same way, man. Like, I feel like so many people, like, parse their words because they're trying to seem, like, very, they don't want to admit the truth. Like, I'm very, maybe to a fault, I'm honest. You know what I mean? Like, I'll say things and then I'll immediately regret them after I say them. But like, I do think it's important to acknowledge the talent comes first. You know, don't, like, yes, sure, they're cute, right? And that might be an extra added 10% on top of the 90% that you already established that you love about them.
Yeah.
But like, there are people that take the cute to the 90%, and then they only care about 10% of the talent, and then that's like a different. You should, I mean, dude, go take a look at the K-pop world. You know, like, I like K-pop.
Sex sells.
Like, there's a good amount of K-pop that I really like, but there are people, a large contingency of the K-pop world, the fans, that don't even care what the music sounds like. I'll see it on Twitter all the time. Like, it's just the visuals, right? Like, all they care about is the visuals. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, there's a certain amount of talent that comes with, like, being able to look that good and dance and look appealing on camera. But also, you guys are ignoring the fact that this person's a really talented vocalist, or this person wrote the song. Like, you're not talking about that aspect of it. You're just saying, like, and that does rub me the wrong way, especially in the K-pop world. You know, it gets even a little bit worse sometimes when it comes to stuff like the rock world like that, because you almost expect the fans to have more of an understanding about the music. Well, you know what I mean? It's like almost your expectations are a little bit higher for them.
The problem with rock is the fucking gatekeepers in the goddamn community. Like it's still happening. Like we're on the internet, so we forget about. But when I was going out to play, it's so funny. I went and played an acoustic show a couple weeks before Christmas, and it was so funny because the singer-songwriters are such an awesome crowd to play with. I'd never done that before because I never sang before. I just learned how to sing a few years ago. And I was like, this is amazing. But then I remember flashing back to when being in the metal band and we're doing Dicodec. The originals that are on our Spotify right now were the ones that we played back in the day. And it was weird to people because it wasn't your typical heavy, hardcore, whatever. And they would just like fucking give you the disgust, like disapproval because you don't sound like fucking Pantera and every other fucking chuggity chugs. What? You have a chorus with clean vocals, you're not metal. And so when female vocals would come around, it was the same bullshit. They're like, they'll always throw it in. They'll be like, they're only famous because she's a woman and she's hot and blah, blah. And I always say, well, that'll get you so far. But you also got to recognize the ones that stick around is because they're actually fucking good singers. They can actually play a goddamn instrument. So that's the problem in the U.S. I don't know if that's like that across the world, but what I've found is that my music is more accepted by other people around the world, more so than in my own backyard. Which
America's got like a very specific sort of like
they
like to stick things in a box.
Very specific.
And say anything that's not in this box right here is like wrong or like abnormal or something like that. And I've personally always been outside the box, like my interests have laid outside the box.
Oh,
that's why I
get
think
made
it is
fun
so
of
interesting
by
to see J-Rock.
People in my own community, dude. I would get like picked on by like we all listen to metal, but I get picked on for the metal I listen to. I'm like, fuck you. Like, really?
Yeah. My metal's not heavy enough for your metal. Like,
like really?
That's what you're trying to tell me right now? I can't listen to goddamn Lacuna Coil? Why not? Why can't I listen to Lacuna Coil? Get out of here. I asked Metallica 100% of the time. Nah, dude. Like, I had the same issue with my bands back in the day, man. Like, my bandmates were like, my guitarist, he's insane. Like, in fact, as Type Desire, like, the best guitarist I've ever heard. Just shred like crazy. Like, he just never stopped, and he was always perfect, right? Although sometimes he would get way too drunk on stage and fuck up. But outside of that, always awesome. But this guy, like, I tried to show him some of the Swedish death metal that I listened to. And he was like, it's pretty garbage. I'd be like, why? Why do you think it's garbage? And you're like, dude, it's not heavy enough. Like, what do you mean it's not heavy enough? What does that even mean? Like, have you never listened to a rock song? Enough. Do you not like Led Zeppelin? Like, do you not like Guns N' Roses? There are things that you can like that are not super heavy. Like, what is wrong with you? I loved Avril Lavigne when she came out, right? I've seen her in concert.
Goddamn, why does Avril Lavigne keep coming up? Jesus Christ. Dude, there's an inside story to this.
That's why. She's the queen. That's why. Okay, just let's be clear on this. She's the queen.
God damn it.
All right. Anyway, so I've seen her in concert 3 times. 3 times.
Okay.
I had an Avril Lavigne shirt that I would go to school in high school. I'd rock my Avril Lavigne shirt with my whatever bandana matched that shirt and my like ripped jeans and my flannel tied around my waist. And people would be like, "Why do you like Avril Lavigne? Don't you like Metallica?" I'd be like, "Bro, I just went to her concert. You know what she did? She played one song while she was playing guitar. She played another song while she was playing piano. She played another song while she was playing drums, and then she sang all the rest of them."
She is a great musician.
That's respect. I'm respecting her. Like, I'm respecting a talented musical artist right now. And just because you don't see it doesn't, like, just because people are telling you that it's not metal doesn't mean that you can't like it. So I've been in this my whole life, this argument with people.
Yeah. What are the fucking chances of you bringing up Avril Lavigne right now? We were just talking about this in a Discord server. I have a weird thing with music where I'll lump up a whole time frame of my life of emotions and stuff and fucking throw it out the window. And unfortunately, bands get thrown out the window with it. So
I get it. I do the same thing.
I was dating someone who dressed exactly like Avril Lavigne, looked like Avril Lavigne, loved Avril Lavigne.
And a good way to look.
Yeah. And of course, I was a skateboarder, trying to be pro at the time, like all this shit, everything, dude, all the stereotypical shit. So like, unfortunately, that relationship went south. We were together for like 6 years, and I fucking can't listen to a single damn song by Avril.
100%.
I have, and it sucks because I know she's good, but like it's funny. So like the chat was giving me shit yesterday in Discord about Avril Lavigne.
Wait, was chat on my side? Chat was against
Yeah,
her?
they love her. I get why people love her.
Go chat. Go Dicodec chat.
But yeah. But it was just funny that you brought that up. I'm like, God damn it.
Well, she's also just made a comeback. Like she just started doing music again. That's like she's working with Travis Barker from Blink-182 on his new.
That was
label.
from a while ago, wasn't it? You remember when she was with Sum 41 with the singer or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah,
she was with
Sum
Sum 41.
They were married, I think. I think she's with.
I can't listen to Sum 41 anymore either, and that was one of my favorite.
Same reason. Punk
bands. Yeah, like. Well, like I'm talking about before they were famous too. Like they had some good shit before. Same thing with Green Day.
They used to do some metal stuff. They did some metal stuff too.
People forget they're influenced by Metallica. He would mention all the time, the drummer. Yeah. You know when they would switch singers, like they did Pain for Pleasure. Pain for Pleasure.
I was literally just about to mention that song. That was like the last track on their most popular album with Fat Lip on it, right? And like that was like
All Killer No Filler. All Killer No Filler was the name of that one.
Yeah, and like I thought that they were really cool too. I actually really like them. But I feel you on that whole thing where you like have to toss shit out of your life.
Yeah.
And again, I was talking about this on my stream yesterday, but like there's a whole section of my life where I just stopped listening to music because all music that I heard would relate to some sort of memory that I had, whether that be negative or positive. I knew that I wasn't a part of that era of my life anymore, so it would put like kind of make me depressed, right? So I just
it puts you right back. Like it's like it's like if it was yesterday, and you're like,
There's two things that do that, man. Like music and smells. Like if you smell something from, it's like suddenly you're just like transported, and you could go like I personally can fall into like deep depression really quickly.
Same.
Right? Like I can just on the snap of a finger, I'll hear that song and I'll go, damn, dude, my life sucks. You know, like, and I'll just need to like be gone.
That's how I am with Avril Lavigne and Evanescence. Can't listen to those two.
Totally get that. Yeah, it's not. And listen, I'm not sitting here trying to say like Avril Lavigne's music is the most top notch music ever written. You know, she's good. I like her as a pop artist. I like her as an American. Technically, she's Canadian, but as an American pop artist, she's better than the rest of them, in my opinion. You know.
Yeah, but, for sure.
Put her up against. I can't put her up against like a great metal band.
You know what's funny? Speaking of that era. Do you remember Good Charlotte?
Oh, yeah.
You remember how much fucking shit they got for the way they dressed and all that stuff? And you know what's hilarious? That's popular now. Do you ever think about that? Think about Good Charlotte. Yeah, like all the new
the black with the nail polish. That's true. They are rocking that look now.
And they had the gold chains and they had like the Rockaware look and stuff. And all of a sudden,
you know what part of this is though?
It's popular now though.
But you know why? Because, part of it at least. Part of why it's popular again. First of all, I do think that everything is pretty much cyclical. So I think most fashion choices are going to come back and blah, blah, blah. But with stuff like TikTok.
They were ahead of their time.
Yes. But you have these people that were not really given that sort of platform to show their fashion or stuff. Like if you're in school, right? Let's say you're in high school. There's 300 people around you, right? And only 2 of them dress like that. You're looking at those 2, or everyone's looking at those 2, like they're the weirdos, right? Like, why are they dressing differently than everybody else? But when you have a platform like TikTok, and this is where I'm going to give it the thumbs up, you have now thousands of people that look similarly that are doing the same fashion. It makes it feel more acceptable, I think, for the overall masses. You know, so I think we're going to see a lot of stuff like that, like where we see fashion that wasn't in before be in now, just because it's there's a lot of stuff that are accepted.
That's why they blew up, though. That's why they blew up. Like people don't realize that's why they blew up. They were the first band to focus on branding of merch for the genre, for punk. Nobody did that in pop punk. Like people were like,
really smart.
What the fuck? And then somebody had mentioned it, and I thought about it, and they're absolutely right. And like, there's these new like rock bands that been coming out that's very Good Charlotte sounding, and I'm like, holy shit, because nobody was doing what Good Charlotte did, because nobody wanted to touch it. They're like, that's not cool, you know, at the time, and now it is. People looked hilarious.
At them. At least out of my friends, I know, like, you know, my friends that listened to punk at the time.
Yeah,
a lot of people. My friends would be like, they're sellouts. Like, it was the go-to.
Fucking like, dumbest argument I've ever.
Sellouts. Yeah, like it's the same argument for when Metallica did the Black Album. Oh, they're sellouts. They cut their hair. It's like, dude, get over yourself, man. Like, they just made fucking $12 million in one day.
I tell everyone, those are amazingly written songs. Like,
yes,
fucking get out of here. Come on. There's a reason why I appeal really to the masses. I mean, because they're well written.
And like you said about their visuals, like Good Charlotte's visuals, like I personally, like I kind of like took some, like I would paint my nails black too, you know. I did the twisty Liberty spikes on my hair back in the day.
Yeah,
shit like
and
that.
AFI turned into that right afterwards. That's when AFI did that too. They started doing that after Good Charlotte, and then they started doing that whole email.
If I think about that like style. Yeah. I'm thinking Good Charlotte, like every time. I'm not thinking the bands that did it afterwards. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy
Good
though.
Charlotte is the one.
Yeah, like I was like, wow, they were actually pioneers of something. It's like it's kind of wild to think
so weird
about.
To think of, honestly. I was never a Good Charlotte guy. You know,
I wasn't either. Not a fan. I was like Sum 41 all the way.
Yeah, but as an adult, don't you like respect being able to be like a good businessman when it comes to to merchandising and promoting and advertising yourself? Like that's something that I really respect in a person nowadays, and they were clearly really good at that.
Yeah, they were.
I look at somebody like Eminem also. Like Eminem, for example, like I mean, he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. But if you just look at the marketing strategies that he put into place. Just the way that he did this stuff, like The Way That I Am. Do you know the song The Way That I Am?
Yep.
I am whatever you say I am. So like that whole song is about how the radio won't play his music because he's being censored, but you're listening to it on the radio when you hear it. Like how smart is that to get these people on your side while literally saying exactly the opposite of what they're getting. Yeah. You know, to me, that's a genius move, you know? So I super respect anybody that can like sort of carve out their little nick.
Do you think they would make it now? Do you think they would make it now?
Good Charlotte?
No, Eminem. Like if he came out with that first LP and the second one, Marshall Mathers LP, Slim Shady Marshall Mathers, do you think it would become big?
Man, that's a loaded question because you got to consider the race aspect, right?
I went and listened to those two albums literally last week, and I'm like, this shit is awesome, but it's so brutal. It's so fucking brutal.
Bro,
like,
the words
it's the heaviest shit without being heavy.
yeah, exactly. That's another thing that I've tried to tell people before. Just because something doesn't have heavy guitars doesn't mean that it's not a heavy song. You know, like, and those things, like, even if you just go back to this, like, I think 2008 or 2012 or something, it released Rap God, and that song. I mean, he says I don't want to say it, but the F word about gay people, like. Not F-U-C-K, the one about homosexuals. Yeah. Oh. That one like 10, 15 times in the song. Like there's literally a whole section where he just keeps saying it over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's like post like
that's true.
He got right, but he still made it work. People still got into it. He's not canceled. You know what I mean? Like there are people that are just able to avoid that.
That's just perception. Cancel's just perception, man. Like,
see, now I will agree with that to an extent. Actually, I could go on a whole rant about that. I don't want to bore your listeners with it.
I'm all for it.
I do think that cancellation, like, you know, if you're being canceled, like technically speaking, I mean, it's really just people saying the things that they feel, and then the employers making a decision based on the PR that they got, right?
Yep.
So like, is that being I guess if you just want to put a word to it, you could say that that's being canceled. But in reality, it's just people making like efficient financial decisions for their own industry.
The only time I consider it canceled is when they literally suppress your stuff, block you off the internet, take you off completely. But the word's been being thrown around lately. I'm like, oh, they're canceled and they have 1.7 million subscribers. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Come on.
Yeah, seriously.
You're not fucking
canceled.
canceled.
The word
Jesus
usage
Christ.
today has become like so, I've just noticed recently in the last 2 years that there's that word usage that people used to be more careful with the words that they would use. And nowadays I find that people just throw out things that are really loaded and have heavy meanings behind them all the time.
They're trying to be polarizing. They're trying to be polarizing.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of people that I read about Bob Saget, like saying that he was a pedophile yesterday, it blew my mind based on the fact that it all came from like a roast. Did you read any of that stuff?
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. So the motherfucker just died. Leave him alone. Like,
right, and this is their opportunity. No, this is their opportunity to get clout, though. So like, they have to take it. They have to disrespect this dude's name. Like, I'm not saying that his jokes were appropriate. Nobody's gonna go, like I love sexual assault jokes about children. Like nobody's advocating for that. But for you to take a roast. I watched that roast live, by the way, and I laughed my ass off the whole time.
Yeah.
But for you to take jokes that other comedians made about him to try to make him laugh.
Yeah.
As like this means that this dude.
I didn't realize people were doing that. Right now.
My God, bro, it's all over. I've been arguing with people like for the last day. Like, how can you just throw the word pedophile around like that? Like it has no weight behind it. And I've just noticed,
which is scary because when somebody is a pedophile, nobody's going to take it serious.
No, exactly. Like no one's going to take
it serious.
When a sexual assault victim comes out, and she needs to be taken seriously, but the one before that lied about it. Yeah. Then that second person, it's going to make it harder for them also. It's like we need to be careful about the things that we say way more than we are, I think. Not just because for the sake of the people that we're saying about, but for the people that are going to come afterwards that need to be taken seriously.
Because what if a guy, let's say random ex-famous guy comes out and people are like, he's a pedophile. I'm like, people are just roasting him again, but he was legit a pedophile.
Yeah, then you don't know. You don't know.
Like, what?
Those dudes out there doing God knows what, but like we're just gonna joke about it because you just joked about 30 other people being the same thing.
Yeah,
so that shit's been driving me crazy lately. Like, I'm really big into like vocabulary and trying to use the proper words for things. I really feel like obviously words change over time, right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, word meanings change over time. So it's really easy for people to get offended by words nowadays, but there are certain words that only mean one thing.
Yeah.
Specifically. And like, that's one of them, for example. Like, you shouldn't just be throwing that shit around.
You shouldn't. Yeah.
No.
Somebody in the chat saying they're going to take this video. I don't think they'll take the video down. We're not saying anything like bad.
Yeah, no, I think we're just talking about the meaning of words rather than like being political about.
I already know the word that you can't say. Well, you know what? It's because some channels are known for saying certain words and they get targeted more. So I know you're mean, Solemn. Solemn was saying in the chat, like, she's right. There is some channels, like there is some political channels that they're specifically political. Then YouTube puts you in this algorithm and you're known for that content. Luckily, we're known for music, so we don't get on that stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that happen also. There's definitely people that are targeted. I mean, there's this YouTube channel called MXR Plays. You ever hear of them before?
No, I haven't.
All right, so it's just like this Chinese guy and this Korean girl, and they just like watch memes, right? And they get constantly blocked because they use like thumbnails that are kind of lewd or crude or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like attract the viewers, but it's a joke on their part. Like if you watch the videos, you know that they're just doing that because like, they're trolling people and stuff like that. But YouTube's got it out for them, and you see them get hit more than other people because of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now I've said a ton of stuff that like is probably inappropriate on my channel.
We're music channels.
2 years.
We're music channels, so we don't.
So I've never even gotten like a single mention about like language or political talking or saying words that are inappropriate or anything like that.
This is why I always recommend other YouTubers. Like we talked before, I help other YouTubers out get their channel up and going, and I always talk about the importance of starting a new channel because YouTube tries to lump you right away. So for you and I, we're lumped as music channels. So we're not in their radar, and that's why we make less money. That's why we have less AdSense and all that stuff. Financial channels make big bucks. So, and political channels make big bucks. So they're in the crosshair. So for the political channels, if they do something or say something that's not in line with Google's wherever they lean, they're immediately going to censor those people. So that's why I love having the music channel and having these conversations with people like you and others, because it doesn't get thrown up there. We can speak a little bit more freely because it's under the musical flag, so it doesn't get brought up as much. So,
yeah, that's a really good point. I
don't know
loophole. If I ever really thought about it like that, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to talk about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but I do try to be a little bit more careful on my channel, just in case. But I'd love to be able to have like completely. You know, I think about politics a lot. I do. I can't help it. It's just like one of those things that are on my mind all the time. Yeah. But I'm always scared to bring them up on YouTube because I just feel like something's going to happen. You know?
I just get depressed. I get depressed by all that shit. I said before, I had to delete all my apps. That's why I don't know about the Bob Saget thing. I just like it mentally drains me, man. Like that's why I was like, I gotta just get back to music only. Like I just don't.
That's probably why you're able to keep doing things to like forward your career. Yeah. And I'm more like, you know what? I'm just gonna lay down and like let the depression wash over me.
When I was doing reactions and stuff, and I stopped playing for a few months, I was getting sucked in. I was on Instagram, I was on Twitter, I was like, oh my God, and I would just get sucked in, or like. It was horrible. I was like, this is not healthy mentally.
Really it's so easy to get sucked in because you see these things are like, it's ridiculous comments. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like if you see like a debate happening that like is sensible, you can almost just read through it and be okay with it. But then you'll see somebody say something that is so completely out of line. And you're like, okay, now I need to like, I almost feel like I have to engage. This is so ridiculous. I can't let this person make other people believe the things that they're saying. And I will get there. I'll be in a Twitter argument with somebody for fucking a whole day. A whole day I'll be doing that.
You know what's funny though? Somebody mentioned this. I don't know who, but bro, like, can you imagine that person saying it to your face? Honestly, just think about that for a second. Or even on video chat. On video chat. Imagine me going like, Champ, you fucking piece of shit. You know? Like this,
I would
seriously.
laugh so hard though. I would think that was the greatest thing ever. Because I'd be like, oh, thank you for saying it. Like, at least you're being honest with me.
And you know what would happen? I would laugh and there would be no argument. But if it's on Twitter, you don't see the person's face. You know, I don't know. It's just something.
Anonymity is like a huge issue when it comes to like social media and stuff like that. Like the fact that you can get away with saying whatever you want. Your IP address isn't getting tracked. Nobody's coming after you. Like you can literally tell somebody that they are, you know, the worst thing that you could possibly think of, and you have no consequences for it. You know, so of course, but it does drive me crazy. I got to say, like that people even want to be that way. You know what I mean? Like. People that actively troll other people because they're I have a chance to be a douchebag right now, so I'm going to be a douchebag. It's like why?
Those are all those bullies from high school. That's what I think of.
Yeah, you've been looking for an opportunity to be a douchebag your whole life, and you found it. And now you're going to do it. Like, don't you have anything else that makes you happy besides just being a dick to other people? Like, come on, man.
Oh man, no, that makes you know. It's a lot of insecurities. You know, like here's something I always bring up. This is something I'm so happy I realized. I wish I realized sooner. When I get upset at someone, we touched on it earlier. When I get mad at someone, I always ask myself, why am I getting pissed off at them? And then I always realize it's something that I struggle with or insecure with. And dude, that's helped me out so much. Or like, for example, like you said, you can shut off your brain. And I'm like, I wish I could do that, you know? So I would find myself getting upset at people that would say stuff like you or wouldn't show up or would be lazy. But that's because I fear being like that. You know what I mean?
That way. Yeah. You don't want that to be you. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Once I realized that, my life got easier for sure.
Yeah. And I think I think one of the things about growing up in general is just being self-aware. I think it's like probably the most important aspect that people don't really talk about that much. Like, you need to understand your own limitations, you need to understand your own struggles, and you need to not try to deflect them onto other people. It sounds like that you've kind of come to that understanding, and it's made you a better person as time has gone on. You know, for me, like you mentioned earlier when we started talking, that like you sometimes have trouble controlling your emotions.
Yeah,
I am compulsive, obsessive filtering myself all the time.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to people in real life on my channel, I kind of let things fly more. But when it comes to speaking in real life, I filter myself, and my emotions never come past to the point of where my filter is. Gotcha. So for me, it's really easy to not say something that I'll regret in real life, but it's also really easy for me to have nothing to say. You know what I mean? So I have to struggle with the other aspect of it, where I'm just like I feel like I'm being boring. You know what I mean? Like I feel like people might not be interested in what I have to say because I'm filtering myself so much. You know, so you have to
That's
find
why I started drinking.
You and me.
That's why I started drinking with reactions, because I was thinking too deep about what I wanted to say. When I drink, I just fucking let loose. I let loose now. Like, I don't have a problem with it anymore because I finally stopped giving a fuck. But yeah, you know, not saying that like I wasn't just saying it, but if you watch our first reactions, you can notice that I'm not talking as much in the very beginning. And then I started talking more, and I started learning to talk more, you know?
Yeah. What about the comment sections? How do you handle that?
Oh, it was a nightmare. It was mentally depressing. I struggled. Woo! Like, even right now, just thinking about it, like some of those things like get to me. I'm just like, damn, why can I handle this? You know, like like some of those things would get to me hardcore.
I don't want to like dredge up bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Like that, but
yeah,
like what's the worst comment that you've ever gotten? What's the one that pops up?
That's the pathetic thing about it, is I don't remember specific comments. I just know they were bad.
You wouldn't. You just know how you felt. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I just know they were bad. And it wasn't really the comments. It was supporters I had from the beginning that would go out of their way and write me extensive, long paragraphs pretty much telling me how I'm a piece of shit, right? And, like, extensive. And
over what, though?
Some of it would be true. Some of it would touch on some truth that I struggled with, or like, but they would just say like, I'm not having fun anymore. Like, I don't like how you're like this or like that. And they just attack my character, and I'd get like a 3-paragraph emails. Not even fucking with you. Like, and then it would be people that supported the channel from the beginning. So now I feel guilty, right? So now I feel bad. Now I'm like, and I remember one time it hit me all at once. It was last year, December. Had 2 Patreon supporters left. They didn't like what I said. They misunderstood what I said. They took it the wrong way, and just slammed me for it. I remember I went into a huge drinking binge, dude. Oh my God. I drank so fucking much. It was ridiculous. And I think the reactions were so shitty. I think it was like January last year. Like, the quality was bad. I don't even know if people realize how bad all that stuff was last January. But it hit me
probably
hard.
Not. You're pretty good. You've been pretty good at. I never picked up on it. Out of all the reactions I watch on your channel, I've never picked up on that. So I think that even when you were in a bad place mentally, it seems like you were able to cover it up pretty well. Yeah,
even some people were like, "Is Alan all right?" I remember seeing those comments like, "Is he okay?" Like, I'm like, oh, fuck, they fucking noticing that I'm not all right, you know?
Yeah, I guess the people that are watching everything are going to notice. You know, it's like
when you have
when you have a girlfriend, you know, like you have a girlfriend and like she says, good morning, baby, every morning. And then one morning she just says good morning without the baby. And you're going, wait, something was different.
Exactly. Fucking exactly. They didn't do the love in caps that day.
Yeah, exactly.
They said, I love you in caps every day, and now it's lowercase.
Yeah, if you look at it from like an isolated incident, it's meaningless, right? But when you compare it to the last 6 years,
yes,
you're going, wait, what changed between yesterday and
that hit a little too home for me on that one. I just remembered an exact moment.
We've all been there, man.
Wait a second. The love is lowercase now. What the fuck is going on? And then they try to convince you. They're like, there's nothing behind it. Motherfucker, I know there's something behind it.
Yeah, no. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. Because they knew when they wrote that, hey, something's missing.
Yes. And then they try to play stupid. Oh, it didn't really happen.
What, you think I don't love you because I didn't say baby?
Yeah, and then you sound crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think.
Yeah, but then you sound crazy. And then now we're talking about relationship, and then they go tell their friends. They're like, he's crazy. And then their friends he got mad at me for not saying baby.
His friends are like, why is he so insecure? You need a guy that's more confident.
Oh my God, it's way too fucking relatable.
I'm telling you, man, we all have insecurities, and I find it fucking bullshit that people think that, like, having insecurities makes you a lesser person. Like, that's one of those things that drives me absolutely insane. Like, I'm insecure about all kinds of shit, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that makes me a worse person. I'm actively trying to become more secure in those things.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. That's such a good point, though. I was like... sounds like this conversation went a whole direction. Solemn, we have been having an awesome conversation, I think.
Yeah, Esther just said a deep conversation with the thought face. And I agree. I don't even know, what was the last time we mentioned music?
We did. Well, I bring it back here. I could bring it back right now.
I'm down with it.
I had a concern. I love talking about this. We talked about it before, and I was telling him, like, we should do this more often. I love talking about this stuff. I think it's fun, which is weird.
So engaging.
I know it's so serious, but it's fun for me. No,
same. And you know what I think it is? I don't know if it's the same for you, but for me, it's like the people around me don't really want to talk about stuff that's like deep like that in their head. Like, I think about this stuff,
and that's all I want to talk about
99% of the day. So I'd love to get it out with somebody that relates to it versus, like, even on my stream, it's fun to do on my stream and talk about this stuff. And then, but there's like 30-second delay between, like, the chat and me. And it's like, it doesn't exactly get to be like an exact back and forth. My friends don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, most, like, especially my dude friends are like,
exactly.
Stoic. They're like my dad. Like, let's talk about sports and we're good.
I think our fans enjoy this.
Like, this is a release.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. I'm the same way. It's because a lot of them are not in that YouTube mentality. They don't know all that stuff too. I feel like it's a particular person that gets involved in YouTube, and because even the guy who edits for me, he does YouTube also, and we talk about this stuff too. But like my friends I grew up with, fuck that.
I do agree. I think that you have to have that, like, certain part of your brain that, I think that you have to have that, like, sort of performer aspect in your brain that allows you to do that in the first place, or at least want to have that. But also, I think that there's a psychology aspect where it's like, most people when they get into YouTube, they know kind of what they're getting into. They know, okay, the likes are going to matter, the views are going to matter, the subscriptions are going to matter, and the comments are going to matter, and not all of them are going to be nice. So you have to mentally prepare yourself for that stuff. I've been pretty lucky when it comes to the comments. I think I can count negative comments on my two hands that I've gotten over the last 2 years. I don't know how that happened. Like, I've definitely said a bunch of stupid shit, and yet still, like, I think the most negative comments I ever got was on my first BTS video that I did. Which was, I said something in the beginning.
I got negative on that.
So I was actually pretty nice when it came to the music itself. But before the video started, I said something like, I generally prefer female vocals than male vocals, which is why I've been putting this off, because at least with the girl groups.
And I saw that reaction. That's why I brought it up. I was curious.
Yeah. If the music isn't that good, at least I got something to look at. I was very honest about that. And I was like, if this music sucks, I don't have anything to look at. I'm not going to like this. That's why I've been putting it off for so long. And people came in the comments and were like, well, don't you think that's a little sexist? And I was like, I mean, if you want to look at that, it's sexist. But to me, it's just like, I'm just trying to make the best video for you guys.
Exactly.
You know, like, that's all I'm thinking.
Real quick, Hokanen, thank you for the super chat. I know that was an hour ago. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my alerts aren't working. Thank you so much for that. If you're still there listening, I appreciate you, man.
Hokanen, you're the man.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I just refreshed the alert, so I'll see them from now on, guys. I'm sorry about that. I missed that. We're getting deep in this. I fucking love this, man.
I just want to say, I want to give a little shout out to my mod Tina, who's in the chat right now, and she's just telling everybody to smash the like button right now, like she has been doing on all my streams lately. Yesterday we went on to we had like a little thing where we were like I think we were at like 60 likes and we had like 115 people in the chat room.
Yeah.
And we tried to get the likes to beat the viewers.
That's what I did in Waves. I had to do that on Waves
in like 5
too.
minutes. In like 5 minutes, we were at like 115 likes and like 105 viewers. I was like, yeah, we did it. But also I was like, it wasn't that easy to just just said, somebody said like, and now you guys are liking it.
I did the same thing with Wave Potter. And it's funny because we're talking now and I've completely failed to mention it. But on Waves, I was on it. I was like, hey, guys, like Waves video. It's so different.
I forget all the time. I forget in every video. Like, I'm just like, I when I first started the channel, I was kind of like, it was one of my, I get these little things in my head where I'm like, okay, this is like one of my things that I'm going to do or not going to do. Like, no matter what happens. And one of my things was, I'm not going to be that guy that says like, comment, and subscribe at the end of the video. Like, it's just too cliche and everybody does it. And then as you learn the rules, you realize, oh, fuck, I'm not getting as many likes or subscriptions or comments.
Because you do have to say something. Come on. You got to admit, when I was on Waves live stream, I was like, don't forget to like the video. All of a sudden, we got the likes. So I'm like, oh, I guess you do have to say something.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, so now for the last like 2 weeks, I've literally been begging. I've been like, guys, please, for the love of God, just like my video. Like, it means so much to me.
Just offer a nipple
tassel
tassel
dance. My life without this like, and they do. And they do. They always do.
You got to offer something, like a nipple tassel dance or something. Yeah.
I could offer. What can I do?
So
I don't think I have anything like that I can offer.
That's why you got to do the nipple tassel dance.
I'm telling you, man. Nobody's gonna like that.
I'm setting you up
I'd have
here.
to shave my chest first and everything, but no.
Did you know
I'm Irish and Italian, my dude. Like, I'm full of hair all over the place, and most of it is red. Nobody wants to see my skin.
I don't know. But chat, what do you think? Who wants to see it?
Oh God. Poll time.
Poll time.
Do you want to see the red nipple hair or not?
Do you want to see red nipple hair? I got a question for you. So I was looking for your Babymetal reactions. I only could find one. Is there a reason why there's one?
There only was one.
Because you mentioned that you heard more than one. So I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, where the fuck is his other ones?
One of my big regrets for my channels, and it's hard to say it's a regret because it was a naturally occurring thing, but the bands that I heard before I started my channel in K-pop were Blackpink, and in J-Rock were Babymetal. So I knew both of those. I had listened to all of them and watched all the reactions, and those are the reasons that I felt like, I can do this. Like, look at all these people out there doing this shit. Like, I went to school for communications in college. I had a podcast for about a year and a half. Like, I played on stage. I've always been sort of like, in entertainment field, at least a little bit. So I was like, all these people, like a ton of them feel super awkward while they're talking. I was like, I feel like I could do what they're doing at least, as well as them. And so Babymetal is one of my inspirations for doing this. So I had heard like Rondo of Nightmare, and
I was wondering. I was like, "Where's his Babymetal reactions?" Like,
I wish I had more, man. Like, the fact that I can't be introduced to Babymetal or Blackpink on my channel kind of sucks, because those are like top notch acts for YouTube reactions. And I wish I could. I actually did a Babymetal reaction yesterday on stream. It was only, again, my second reaction, but it was from a song that I'd already heard.
Yeah.
I was just watching the live version of it because I was curious as to how they were doing it nowadays, But But yeah, I've listened to all their music.
That makes
really
sense.
Like
that makes sense because I was like, I want to hear his opinions on Babymetal. I just saw BMC, and then you mentioned that you listened to a lot of them. And I was like, what? Oh, and then it makes sense now. I don't even know why I didn't put two and two together. That
there is a time from pre-Champ of Medium YouTube channel that did exist in my life, and that was part of it.
Not everyone was under a rock about Babymetal, I guess. Just me.
No, I mean, like, had you never heard of them before you started the channel?
I only heard Joey mention the name. And I didn't know it was a band. My buddy Joey, he plays bass for the band. Mm-hmm. He showed me one song, and it was when I was like 20. It was like the very first, like when they first started. I don't remember how it sounded or anything. And when he said, "Oh yeah, this is Babymetal," I thought he meant genre of music.
Like kawaii metal.
Yeah, so I was like, "Oh." He's like, dude, you gotta check out this new style of music called Babymetal. That's how he worded it. Like he worded it all fucked up, and it pissed me off.
Wretched Bob in the chat just said Babymetal is false advertising. There are 0 babies.
Yeah, so he told me that, and I was just like, so I thought it was a genre of music, and then he found out he's in New York, I'm here, and I started the channel, and then he realized I was reacting to Babymetal, and he called me. He's like, bro, do you remember me showing you that band? I'm like, no. I was like, oh yeah, that genre of music, Babymetal. He's like, no, it's a fucking band. I was like, I thought that was weird that they had the name of the genre of music.
Like that's the title of the video.
Yeah, I was like,
the genre.
I was like, that's genius. It's like Death. Like they're a melodic death metal band, and they're called Death. Yeah. Fucking brilliant. Yeah. It's a death metal band, and they're called Death.
When you search up death metal band, they're probably gonna pop up.
Yeah, it's fucking genius. So I'm like I'm like, oh, that's cool. They captured the genre with the band name, but no, it was a band the whole time.
I mean, there is though, like kawaii metal is a thing that people have been talking about recently.
Yeah,
which I guess is like cute metal. I think kawaii means cute in Japanese. Which is like, I guess they would fit into that genre. I don't even really understand what it is exactly, but that's the closest thing to Babymetal, I guess. That you
again, it's subjective. You know, I would say we were pretty cute in our Babymetal video. You know, like it's pretty cool. I was kidding. Hey, man, I'm kidding.
That's undeniable. That's not subjective. That's an objective fact.
Just Vicky. Vicky was like,
yeah, I gotta say, man, like I do really like the band in general, Babymetal. I do feel like they've matured a lot as time has gone on. You know,
dude, I love her voice now. Sue's voice now.
Oh, she's so good.
More than
it's
ever.
Always been good, but now it's like an adult good. You know what I mean?
Like
and
even better.
They were really cool. Yeah, they were really cool because they were gimmicky and had talent. You know, at least backing.
Yeah, people
really had a lot of talent. Now they're like a band. You know what I mean? Like now they feel like less of a gimmick and more like a band. And, the song that I checked out yesterday. Have you heard Starlight?
Yep, love it.
Yeah, so like I mean that's as much of a mature metal song that you've ever gotten from them, and that is my favorite song from them. I think it's because of that.
We do concert reactions on Twitch, and we did her latest concert. I can't remember what it was called, but I you can ask everyone. I kept raving. I was like, guys, I'm not saying she's bad before because she was amazing before, but holy shit, she's fucking incredible. Like, yeah, exactly. I love the deeper tone in her voice. And the fact that she can go from a deeper tone and to the kawaii now is, to me, I love it. Like,
yeah, she's unlocked another level, right? Like,
yes.
There's always, like, the way that I view, like, talent when it comes to stuff like that, certain people are born with a certain amount of talent, right? And then there's, like, the ceiling that you hit.
Yeah.
Until you learn. Right? And
exactly.
Grow into it. And then the ceiling increases. Her ceiling was higher than 99% of people. Right
yeah.
You know? Yeah. But because she's had the last 10 years to continue growing, that means her ceiling is higher now than most of the people that have actually, you know, put time and effort into their vocals in the last 10 years also.
Yeah.
When you start at such a high level, you know, your ceiling so much higher to get to, which is like I think that she's really done an excellent job of like growing into the vocal style that she has also. Yes, I was super impressed yesterday. That's all I could say about that. I was like, this is really nice to see.
Yeah,
especially since they missed one of their they don't have one of their people anymore.
Yeah, UE Metal. Like I tell everyone, like every concert could be a separate album of the same damn songs, which is crazy. Like you could make an album out of every single concert because they're just done so well. Man, if you ever get a chance,
I need to watch more of those.
Maybe we should do that if you're down. Maybe one of the Sundays or whatever. I always check out a Babymetal concert. Maybe you should join me if you're down to do that.
Really? Every Sunday you check out a Babymetal concert?
Yeah. Well, we put it to once a month, but I'm probably going to do it every Sunday now that Eric's not with us anymore. But I used to wait for Eric. But now I might just do one every Sunday again. So every Sunday we watch a concert and I'll like treat it like a show. We check out a couple bands before the concert. And then like get their openers or whatever, and then we watch the concert.
So why Babymetal? Are they your favorite off the channel?
They're one,
or are they your viewers' favorites?
It's my favorite Japanese band, along with Maximum Hormone. Like for me, it's like Maximum Hormone, Babymetal, Band-Maid. Those are like my top three. But I really love Nemophila. I got to throw that in there.
So I've only heard 2 songs from them.
I love the recordings, though, better than the concerts, unfortunately. But I'm sure they'll have better concert performances in the future. But I really love
I've just heard that one, what was it called? Revive or something like that? The really metal song that they came out with, the music video. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait.
Nemophila? What was it? What does it start with R?
I just did a reaction, too. I'm so bad with that. It's like Revive is the album name, right? Or something like that?
Yeah, that's the name of the album. Hold on. What was the track that I listened to? I never remember the names of any songs, like ever. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad. Except for Babymetal and Maximum Hormone I know pretty well. Actually, Maximum Hormone I forget the names really easily. Babymetal's pretty easy to remember.
Dissension was the song.
Dissension. Oh, that was like the first song I heard, and that was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then I heard another one. Yeah, I heard another one live, though, and it was like a totally different genre of music almost. It was like a Oiran, Oiran, I think it was.
Yeah. Revive was a single and the album name. That's right. Dissension was so good. It was so good. I just like her voice.
Is awesome. I love that whole vibe of that video.
You know who she reminds me of? I commented on your video, actually. Do you remember old, like, Distillers?
I don't think so.
Fuck. No, I'm not gonna even try. I can't remember. But
come on, let's hear the vocals, man.
Check out Distillers when they had a couple hits. It was it's a white album and like there's a body on it and it's slit in half. And it's it almost reminds me of that style at certain points, like the vocals. Not exactly like that, but certain songs for sure.
Yeah, I definitely need to listen to more of them. It's still like, it's been 2 tracks. I'm not here. You've listened to so much more music because you do these streams, I guess. Like I just started doing these, right? And it's like,
dude, it's so awesome.
Now that I've
album reviews, now I don't have to wait. I just fucking check out the entire album and then I can just play it.
Yeah, it's wonderful, right? Like that. I've been loving doing these streams because of that. It felt like I was waiting so long to listen to new music when I was just recording videos. I don't want to stop doing that entirely. I mean, those still, like, when you just look at my channel, I mean, like,
thank you. Drain the Blood Distillers. Thank you. That's what was the name of the album.
Drain the Blood.
Yeah, Drain the Blood.
Let's take a notation here.
They were an all-female punk band. They're like one of the. Not like one of the first, but for that era, the 90s, late 90s, they were probably like one of the only few bands, all female punk bands, actually. Of course, then later on, it became a singer. So I was like, I want to play a song, but I feel like it might get blocked. I don't want to get blocked on it. I'll show it to you. Okay. But if you have a chance, check out a sample of it. But
I just wrote it down. It's in my other thing right now.
Very punk. They were a really cool punk band. It was one of my favorites because they were unique, like NoFX. I remember when I would first listen to NoFX for the first time, like, because I didn't like Pennywise and those other punk bands because they sounded like all the same. I like more of like NoFX, and I like Rancid, and even like Offspring when they were more punk, like when they first started off, and I was really big in the punk scene. Or like my favorite thing is when Green Day, when Billy would do solos and stuff, like, and they had a second guitarist. That was some good shit. And then he had country songs too, by the way. He has some country songs on his first funk album.
I don't know if I've ever seen Billy do anything solo before. I was honestly more of a Blink guy than a Green Day guy. Just like in
I like
general,
Blink too.
That was more my vibe. You know, I like the really happy, upbeat, poppy stuff.
What I meant by Green solo was he would play guitar solos in his songs. Like he actually can shred. He can do a little shredding himself.
I didn't even realize that there was any guitar solos in any Green Day songs.
It's like this is like very first stuff that I can show you. I gotta show you. It's hilarious. Actually, people would laugh at that one. But let me show you a song. Let's show you a song. But first, you know what? I have to show you "Dominated Love Slave" by Green Day. So I'll show you their little dabble in country since you mentioned country. Dominated Love Slave. I know I won't get blocked for that. I don't think anybody's ever heard this because it was like underground kind of song. Oh my God, they did it live in 1994. They have a live version of it. Holy shit.
Oh man.
That crazy?
That's nonsense.
Driving Staples Deep
album. I know this album too.
Smack me and call me daddy. Good belt sander against my skin.
Yo, I can get on board with that though. Man. I'm telling you, like one of my roommates, he's huge into like old school country music. If I played that, he'd be drinking all night to that.
Oh my God. Early Green Day is so fun. Like they have like the song "All I Wanna Do Is Get Real High," just about talk about smoking weed all day and getting fucked up. It's like the greatest song.
Even Basket Case is about smoking weed.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Every song was.
Yeah, they talk about that a lot. But like, I gotta say, all right, I'm gonna maybe an unpopular opinion here. The second they came out with American Idiot, I lost all interest in them. Like that album.
Okay, I gotta tell you a story. Can I tell you a story? So.
Shoot.
I'm a huge Green Day fan. I mean, fucking loved them. It got me through heartache, it's the only band that I have not thrown away from that era of my life that sucked. I can still listen to them because it makes me feel good. It remembers me. It just reminds me of adolescence, going through all that shit. And I fucking worshipped it. Like, I fucking loved it. I didn't know why either, because, like, I was also listening to All That Remains at the same time, you know? Like, but I always loved Green Day. I fucking loved him. Just something about his lyrics. His lyrics were so good. Like, just spoke to me. I remember I would write all his lyrics out. Remember every single fucking word to all the songs. Help me with breakups or whatever. And the day American Idiot came out, because they had disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Bro, somebody gave it to me. Put it in a fucking Walkman, Sony Walkman. I'm sitting there in high school. And I put it on there. And I remember sitting in front of the door and I screamed, "What the fuck is this?" Took the CD out, fucking threw it on the ground and smashed the shit out of it.
You did the right thing.
I was so pissed. But then
I felt like
a year later, I went back and listened to it again. And it's actually a brilliant album. I'm saying.
So I definitely did not give it the chance. That second chance.
Go back.
That you were able to give
I'm telling you right now. Go back. Listen to the lyrics. Because that was the era that NoFX did the same shit and Suicidal Tendencies. They all came out with the Rebellious album. There was Freedom, and then there was The War on Errorism, and then American Idiot. They're all political albums. They all came out at the same time.
I think that's what really turned me off on it. It was just the lyrics itself. I felt like, okay, so Now, this is probably something that, as an adult, I could respect more, right? Because they grew up also between the album that came out before that and then that album. So they had things on their mind that they didn't before that.
And they went back underground, too. They went back underground after their, I can't remember the albums now. But Shenanigans was underground. And that was a good album, too. And then they became famous again with American Idiot.
Mm-hmm. I felt my immediate impression was I'm going to play Hypocrisy super hard right now, but I was like, they fucking sold out. I was like, damn, dude, they never cared about politics before. Why are they singing about the war? Like, this is all that matters. And I was like, they don't care about the war. Like, they never did. Why is everything about the war now? Obviously, as an adult now, I could probably go back to it and be like,
because think about us now. Matter. Think about us now, though. Yes, we didn't care about politics. Now we do.
Nope, not even a little.
Not even a little. Now all of a sudden we're like
15 years old. No,
this bothers me.
Yeah, I could probably listen to those lyrics now and be like, "Oh my god, this is so relatable." Damn, dude, they like worded this so properly. But at 15, I was like, "This is trash."
Oh, I was pissed. I was pissed. You're absolutely right. But I will say this though: the album after American Idiot, garbage. But American Idiot has some of the really good lyrical lines, like really good writing. He is very underrated as a lyricist. Even when he was talking about getting high, the way he said it though, the way
his wordplay was
so on point. Like Basket Case, all of them. Like people don't understand like how genius that guy was when he was doing those lyrics. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing ever, but like the way that he would talk about songs and sing songs. And
he had a quality where it was like this relatable quality where it was also like he would kind of flip things on its head where When I Come Around is another really good example of like, it's a really basic song, right? Like, dun, 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 dun. Like it's like 4 chords, right?
Yeah.
But like the lyrics of it always bring you back, because it's about something super relatable that everybody can get on board with.
Yep.
Longview is another one where like I feel like, about being lazy, about trying to get out of a funk, like
he's the only one who could write about being lazy so well.
Yeah, I felt that, man. I felt that every time I listened to it. I got a story about Green Day too. So back when I was in high school, I was dating this girl that went to, you know what Votech is?
What? No.
Votech.
No.
Okay, so Votech it's like another school. It's not exactly public high school. It's like a trade school, I guess. You go to learn like cosmetology and like woodworking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I had a girlfriend that went over to Votech, but I was at public high school, so I would be the rebel that I was, and I would sneak onto the Votech bus at noon during lunch, and I would take the bus over to Votech to see my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And just skip my classes for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I ended up with a B-, everybody, so don't get off my case for being a bad student.
Bro, I skipped school and passed.
Yeah, I skipped school a bunch of times just to go see her, but we would, every time, I would take her, we would go out into the woods behind her school, and I would give her one earphone. I'd have one earphone, and we'd listen to Green Day's greatest hits. So what you were saying before about not being able to listen to music that like had memories, I haven't listened to Green Day in probably like 15 years specifically for that reason.
Yeah.
It's why I never came back to them and went, whoa, I wonder what else they're doing. It's like that memory has too strong of a hold over me for me to like not think about it while I'm listening to their music.
Yeah. I got lucky with Green Day. Green Day helped me get over things. There was a different dynamic compared to like Sum 41 and Avril Lavigne.
Definitely.
They didn't help me get over things. They were just like part of the relationship or whatever. Yeah. But some bands, like I always have to mention Japanese wise. I don't know if you heard them. I couldn't find them on your channel. I don't know if I did search for them. Happy Heads, Naniori, and Sokuninaro are 2 really fucking phenomenal Japanese bands that you should check out. And shout out to whoever brought Sokuninaro up. But I like Happy Heads more. That's more my style. I like Naniori. It was really good. Oh, Hard Bros, Rise Against. Yeah, they were good. I covered songs in one of the first bands I was in with them.
How do you spell the Sokunaro one? Do you know?
It's in the chat. Kent put it in there. It's SOKONINARU. vocational. Someone's wondering what vocational tech school is.
So I'm almost positive I've heard the Soken and Oro.
Solemn's reminding me right now. Happy Has Naniori, yes, made me lose my mind multiple times.
I've definitely never heard that. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. Champ does like Passcode. You do love Passcode, right, Champ? I've heard you do.
Passcode
or
is
Rich.
Great.
Sorry.
Passcode is one of the most underrated bands out there, in my opinion. I don't know why more people don't request them for my channel. I wish they would.
Just do it.
Well, I've done. It's all over my Patreon. I've done 3 of their full albums over there. I think I actually have one of their full albums up, like hidden on my channel. Every once in a while, I'll do a full album, and like they're supposed to be for the patrons, like
Oh, okay.
But I'll hide some of them on my channel, like in playlists. They're not public. Like they're unlisted, okay. But if you go to the playlist, you can find it there. There's like a full baby Band-Maid album there, a Passcode one. There's the secret's out, guys. You want to search around my playlist, you might find something you've never heard before.
Bratz is pretty good too. Work Class bringing up Bratz. They're really good. I'm hit and miss with Bratz. But a band that I'm gonna like fully get into is this other guy. He played with a Babymetal concert, Ikua. I'm saying that wrong. Somebody help me with the pronunciation on this. Ikuo. And I just reacted to him. Man, it is so good. Fucking phenomenal basses.
What kind of music?
Vocals are good. I don't know, guys. What do you call that kind of music? It's like, I don't know. It's rock, but it's not. At certain points, it's like a bass solo.
That's a lot of J-rock right there.
It's a bass solo, and it's like there's metal.
Nice.
He does corn screams out of nowhere, Jonathan Davis type screams in it out of nowhere. But then he has this amazing, beautiful, clean voice that I'm just like, it's just really good. And it's catchy.
Sounds cool. So it's a solo act, you're saying?
Yeah. Well, he has other people like Leda from Babymetal. I'm going to show you a snippet of it. I got to show you a snippet of it. Okay. And then I'll show you our song, La Casa Negra.
Cool. I also checked out somebody that had a bass solo in it yesterday on stream called Asterism. Have you heard of them yet?
Oh, yes. Yes, very good.
So they were pretty nasty, too. I mean, they're clearly, like, they're new, like, very, very new, like, into the scene.
I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'm going to let you, when I show you this, I'm going to let you, just a snippet so I can show you, give you an idea what the style is.
Don't get us blocked.
Finish what you were saying? What were you saying?
I was just saying that, like, you brought up the bass solo, and I was just like, damn, dude, the bassist in that band is, like, absolutely nuts. That was the first thing that I noticed on that. I think that they're going to be really, really big eventually. But I think my
bad. I think so, too. I think they need a vocalist, in my opinion, from what I listened to.
I said the same thing. I was like, they're really good with the songwriting, but eventually they'll probably, like I was like, she does the talking guitar, or he does the talking guitar, like that.
Yeah.
I made a comparison to Slash. It kind of has that sound where like you can sing along to the guitar riff, but
it's the bassist, right? You're talking about the girl, right? Doing guitar. That's the one with the girl's guitar,
right?
And the guy's the bassist.
Yeah, she plays. I'm getting my pronouns, pal. I'm getting my pronouns mixed up right here. But yeah.
Oh God, let's not get into
that. All right, let's hear that thing.
Yeah. So just to give you a taste of it, yeah, it's. That's all I'm gonna leave you with.
Damn, dude, that bass is like intense though.
But you hear how that melly's so like na 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 na. I'm like, oh fuck yes, like it's catchy and technical. I'm like, it's really good. Like
I think I might need to hear more than 5 seconds in order to like really judge it. There sounds like there's so much going on.
Anyways, All
Damn,
right,
dude.
so you can do it on your channel.
That bassist, man. That bassist is pretty nasty.
I fell in love after I heard that song, dude. Like, I keep telling everyone. Everyone's probably wants me to shut up about it. I've only heard one song. I can't stop talking about it. I'm like, I already know, dude. Like, you know, when you hear a band, you're just like, I know I'm gonna fucking love this band.
Oh, yeah.
I know for sure. There's going to be a crush. It's coming quick.
Hey, Dreamcatcher did that for me, man. Like the first time that I heard Dreamcatcher, I was like, you know, the first song that I heard from Dreamcatcher was called Good Night. And the song starts out with a guitar solo. I didn't realize that K-pop could have guitar solos in it. First time that I heard that, I was just like, holy shit, this is my new favorite thing in the world. You know, sometimes you just know right off the bat. It just hits your ear in the right spot.
I'm sorry, I accidentally made someone a moderator or took it off by accident. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know how I did that. Who did I do that to? There. I think it was Solemn. Sorry, Solemn. You're back to a moderator. Who did I make a moderator by accident? Japanese
people
Green
are just
Day.
Like out there kicking people out. Just, hey, I got a chance.
I don't know what the fuck I did.
Finally, I have some power. It's like Discord mod. I don't want to be a jerk to Discord mods. I'm sure we got a couple in here, but the amount of Discord mods that I've known that have had like power trips, like, oh, finally I got some power. Let's ban everybody. Let's ban them all. Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Just a little bit more.
The vocals almost sound like a punk melody.
Is that what? But dude, and then later in though, he does some like Jonathan Davis screams, and it gets heavy, and then you're like, oh, yeah.
Jonathan Davis as in like, ooh, what?
No. Like I'm talking about like "Did My Time," like where I did my time.
Oh, like with the okay,
like
so
the whole out
full scream on the end of the melody, like.
But like that double vocals. I'm gonna love him. I'm gonna love him.
He was one of the best at that.
Guys, just letting you know, there's gonna be a lot of reactions to him. So actually, somebody just brought this up, and I was gonna bring it up. I need you to do something for me. Convince me to check out more Dreamcatcher and why.
Ooh, this is fun. Okay, so. I love convincing people that I'm right about this. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So here's the deal. I generally like if I'm going to watch like a Dreamcatcher reaction, it's going to be from somebody that likes rock or metal because they usually aren't expecting to hear rock or metal in K-pop, right? So I love seeing that. But I think that some people get.
It sounded like you said gay pop just for a second. That was hilarious. I'm sorry. That was hilarious. You didn't say
some
that.
Of it's gay. I'm sure some of it's gay.
You said K-pop. I was like,
the gay pop. I love the gay pop. Hey, listen, man, no judgment. but here's going to be my rationale, right?
Okay.
I think that a lot of people go into it like. Everybody tells them, oh, by the way, this is going to be so much heavier than what you're used to out of the pop scene. And then people go into it like, I'm going to hear a metal song? Is this going to be a metal song?
Yeah.
And then a lot of people are like kind of disappointed. Like, okay, it was a pop song with metal aspects in it. And I think that knowing what you're getting into first is like an important part about that. When I watched them for the first time, I was just expecting to hear a couple, rock aspects in the music. I wasn't expecting full-fledged rock songs to exist within their catalog. So like once you get through that sort of mental block, I think it's easier to open your mind to it. Gotcha. But there's also the different styles of song. They have some that are completely pop, 100%, no metal, no rock in them whatsoever. And then they have ones that I would consider just a straight up metal song. Like they have a song called Endless Night, which is actually done by a Japanese band. I don't remember the name of them.
I think we might have did
a Japanese metal band doing the music, and they're just doing the vocals over it, right? So like stuff like that. That's how and I think a lot of the times the comments really lead you in the wrong direction. They'll be like, check out Red Sun, and that's just like a pop song, right? Because they like that. They don't realize what you would like. For you, I could give you like 5 songs and say, I think Alan will like this one, and this one, and then he'll be into Dreamcatcher. versus hearing the ones that the commenters wanted to hear that you might not like as much.
I feel bad because I need to get back to Dreamcatcher. This is what attracted me to them. I've done a few songs, but the thing that I liked was that there's a story, that there's a concept, that there's a story to it. So what we did was we reacted to one and we're like, this is so interesting for a fucking pop song, because we thought it had this random progressive element in it. I can't remember which song it was.
You did Chase Me.
It was?
I remember. It was Chase Me.
And then so we backed it up. We're like, and people were like, you got to start from the beginning, follow the story, because I'm all about that concept.
Okay. Chase Me is the second one that you did then. I saw that one. I don't know what you started with, actually.
Yeah, we started with something like in the middle, and we're like, fuck, we need to go back and listen to the other ones, because people were like, you guys got to check the story. And then we stopped, of course. So I was like, and I saw that you were like a Dreamcatcher fan. I was like, oh, I got to ask him about that. So
yeah. So here,
thanks for the super chat, Martian Music. I hope you're okay, and I hope you're doing good. I don't know when.
Can you? Shit just went sideways. I hope everything's okay with you too, Martian man.
Yeah.
Do you have? Can you play like? I just want you to hear the intro. To the song,
let's do it.
To Endless Night.
To Endless. I think. Let me make sure we didn't do that one, because then I'll feel really stupid if we did that.
Well, I mean, even if you did and you forgot about it, like you don't need to hear the rest of it. I just want you to hear the first like 10 seconds.
Okay, let's do it. Oh yeah, we haven't. I definitely haven't heard this one. Oh shit. Bro, that's way different than what I've already heard from them.
Right? So they have
I liked what I've already heard.
Yeah. They have Japanese tracks and Korean tracks. The Japanese ones are always heavier than the Korean ones. Some of the Korean ones can get pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But it's much more hybrid of pop and rock on the Korean side, while Japanese, it's basically just like hard rock / metal stuff.
Damn. Let's hear a little bit more.
So I would suggest you check out some of their Japanese stuff before checking out any of the Korean stuff.
That's true. I'm pretty open-minded too, though. I think you're right though. Like, to get me to fall in love is kind of like what happened with Babymetal, with Band-Maid. I think if people chose specific songs in the beginning, because I wasn't like the biggest fan in the beginning, and then I grew to love them like a lot. But
I'm gonna bitch about this for a second.
Okay.
The amount of times that I've seen commenters say like, yo, you need to check out this song. And I'm going, you guys have literally no idea what this person wants to hear. Like, it happens all the time. And I've seen it even in your videos where the commenters, especially the Dreamcatcher ones, where they're like, check out blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, dude, like that is not going to win him over. Like, yes, you and me, we're open-minded. We can like other things.
That's true.
But like, there's still a door that you have to like, there's that connecting point. You know what I mean? Like, just from the thing that you normally love.
Yeah.
And you want to kind of get to that connecting point before your mind opens all the way. It's hard to just open all the way from the beginning.
And that's what they did with Babymetal. They nailed it on the head for me. They didn't know that I was
the first track you listened to?
It wasn't no, it was the metal one with fucking
the Dragon Force
one. But honestly, that wasn't the one that did it for me. It was Karate. Karate was the one that was like, I
love Karate. Karate's great too.
I was like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
I was like,
that was really cool, right? I like that song a lot too. And it's not doing anything technically crazy or anything like that. It's just
really
a cool vibe.
Yeah, it was just really fucking good. And then I can't remember which one. Oh, then I heard Black Babymetal, and it had the Limp Bizkit sounds in it. Like that, the old school sounds like the wah, 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 and Babymetal. Yeah, they actually have a track where it's like what, and then dun, 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 dun. Oh, we're gonna have to show you
what
that.
The track is called? I'm not.
Guys, help me. Which Black Babymetal song is it? I'm bad with the names. There's somebody knows in here. So
some of the tracks that I like from them the most aren't even metal. To tell you the truth, like there's that one that has like that rap part in it.
Yeah,
like the two girls are rapping in the middle of it.
On my nostalgic feels. That's what happened with Babymetal. Babymetal just fucking was on assault on like everything I loved like in music. Along with Max and the Hormone. But wait, I gotta hear how these vocals come in on this real quick. I'll Dude, the fucking bass tone, man.
Yeah. They also have a progressive part in it.
Bro, this is, I agree with you. You're right. If somebody showed me this, you're right. It would get me to just keep reacting over and over again.
Right.
The other ones were good. They were good, but you're right.
It happened on my channel too. BTS, for example, like the first, maybe like the second song I checked out from them. I
don't think I got introduced to right songs with them either.
Yeah, the second song I checked out, I was like, that's really great. But there were a couple where I was like, this isn't really doing it for me. It took me a while to get into them because they have like this discography of like hundreds of tracks.
Yeah.
And like, in order for me to find the ones that I really, really connected to, most of them were B-sides. They weren't even like the music video ones, So it's like, you really got to have like, it depends on what your
musicians always love the B-sides more. I don't know why. We listen to Hide and Seek by Band-Maid, and I'm like, why is this a B-side track? I was like, what?
They're not made for the masses, man. They're made for us. Those songs are made for us, man. Like, is a Black Hole ever going to be a music video? No, they're never going to make a music video.
They should, though. Dude, have you heard the instrumentals? I fucking love those. Oh, my God. When we were doing that reaction, so good. Their instrumentals are so good.
Giovanni one? You hear
Giovanni? Yes. One? Yep, heard that one. Woo! I want an album of just instrumentals of that album, Unseen World. Yeah, I'm in fucking love with that album. And then, what the fuck is it called? Is it called Different, right? Is the anime one?
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I heard your comment about that too. They should have just put it on the album anyways. I don't care if it was for the anime.
Why?
Like, Maximum Hormone did it. They put What's Up People on the album. Like, why was that not on the album? Just stop making me work hard. Well, put that on the album.
How many tracks were on Unseen World? I think 10, 8 or 10 or something like that. Like, they could have used different on that album. And it was like a top notch. It would have been, in the upper echelon of songs on that album also. Like, I just think it would have put it over the top. If I were to give that album a 9.5, like having different on there would have been a 10. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good song. I fucking love that.
It's a great song, man. That riff in the beginning and the way that the drums match with the guitar. Like, sometimes I just can't imagine how she thinks of putting the sounds together just based on timing.
I feel bad. I feel bad because I've done album reviews on the other albums, but guys, for me, Unseen World is like, it's just so much higher than the other ones. For me, it is. It's just, I know it's bias. It's total bias. I know it is because, playing music,
style.
It's just the style. It's my style. Like, it's like, that's my style. Too. It's everything I love I love progressive hard rock. Like, I really love, like, that's my median. Give me a little bit of metal. I'm okay with it. I don't want full metal. Yeah. Just a little bit progressive hard rock, catchy melodies. So for that Unseen World compared to the rest of the albums, it's like the rest of the albums and Unseen World for me. That's how it is.
Yeah.
For me.
I feel the same also, to tell you the truth. Like, I really, really do love. Well, first of all, let me just say this: the 3-song EP that they came out with recently, that's up there with. I think you could have put all 3 of those tracks, like Hibana and Corallium, and Sense, on Unseen World.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have batted an eye. You would have been like, okay, that all makes sense on there. Also,
yeah,
a lot of progressive sounds in those too. But I think that for us, you and me in particular, we clearly like things that are not just like strictly positioned into one genre. You know what I mean? Like, give us the combination genre song. Like, we want to hear some of those blues in that metal. We want to hear some of that pop in that rock. Yeah. Like, just it being one genre nowadays, it just doesn't do it for me anymore. So nowadays, Band-Maid is hitting all of my ticks, right? Like, they're getting the progressive, they're getting the metal, they're getting the rock, they're getting the pop vibes.
It's almost like if they're lazy, like, bro, come on.
Think about it for a second, right? Like, just think about it for a second. Do you want to write the same riff that everybody else is written? How many times can you write a Testament riff? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Eventually you're going to get bored by it.
Exactly.
Tesla sounded cool, man, but like, Tesla doesn't sound cool in 2022 when you're rewriting their music.
It's the same over and over.
Let's add some Blackpink to that rock. Like, that's always like my mentality now.
I haven't listened to much Blackpink yet either. I've only heard.
Do you like rap at all?
I do. I love rap actually, but I'm very specific. I like storytelling in my rap.
100%. I'm the same way.
And it can't be just fucking made up words. I'm sorry. Just one reason why. I mean, like, of course, I grew up. I'm a '90s kid. My favorite rap was like, of course, Ludacris, Eminem, Eazy-E. Like, Love Dr. Dre, like all that stuff.
Chronic, 2001.
Yeah, Chronic. But you know what? That was always shit I listened to and never told anyone about. Fuck, dude. Back then, I'd be like sitting there, like, I'd never tell anyone I was listening.
That's so funny, man. That's like how I felt about Christina Aguilera. I was like, I'm buying all of her albums. I'm not telling nobody that I'm listening to them, though.
Yeah.
I'm like driving home. I got Christina blasting until I turn onto my road, and then I like switch it over to like Dark Tranquility. Yeah. I was listening to metal the whole time.
I want to see that. I want to film you like going down the street with some Genie in the Bottle blasting with your windows down, and you just singing at your time. We should get it. When I go back up north, we'll do a film. All of us, you and I, just singing Genie in the Bottle in the car, rolling down the street.
I'm so down, bro. And you know what's so funny about this too? Like, I'm such an asshole about it. Like, this is something that you'll literally see by accident, because I'll turn that shit up and I'll see somebody next to me and I'll roll my windows down so that they fucking know I'm listening to goddamn Christina Aguilera right now. You better know. I want the world to acknowledge.
Oh my god, I was playing Maximum the Hormone. It was like during summer, and it was Alien, and it got to the Winnie Upload, which is like the Napster thing, and which that was funny. I was laughing so hard.
That, by the way.
So it was their version of Napster. So so they're saying don't Winnie Upload and
don't steal our music.
Yeah, so it's funny. So I'm listening to that song and the guy looked at me so weird because that transition was like na 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 na. So it's all like heavy da 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 da. And got to that part and you're like, I just felt the look like, what the fuck is he listening to?
Why would he do this to himself? What is wrong with that guy? I mean, I'll show you. I'm telling you, nobody understands. Nobody understands my taste in music. Not a single person in my life. Actually, I'll have so one of my buddies, the one that I was telling you about, that listens to country, like old folk stuff all the time. When I go down to hang out, so I told you I don't really drink anymore, but they still drink.
Yeah,
they're big drinkers, right? So, but I can't really hang out with them because I'm sober.
Yeah,
so it's like it's hard to be in the two different mentalities at the same time. But
it really is.
When I go down there, he'll throw on Blackpink because he's like, and he'll be like, "Oh, I love this song," but I know that he's doing it just to troll me. That son of a bitch, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally just a troll for me. It's like I'm rocking out, and I'm like, you know what, man? Fuck you. Fuck you. I think this is a banger of a track. Now, speaking of Blackpink, by the way, you were saying that like you haven't really listened to much of them. Yeah. And I was trying to think in my head as you were saying that, like, what would I show Alan to try to get him into them? And I can't come up with anything. To tell you,
I just have to check them out. Hey, I'm going to show you La Casa Negra real quick while I use the restroom real fast. Or do you need to use the restroom? We actually been talking for almost 3 hours. This is fucking amazing.
I don't pee.
I can't believe everybody has been sticking around for this song. I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we still got over 100 people in here, man. They've been here the whole time.
You guys are nuts, but I love you to death. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. Hopefully this is motivating or insight into our lives, maybe a little bit more. I don't know, but here,
I'd like to think it's more than just music, right? Like that they're enjoying more than just music talk. So a once in a lifetime opportunity is about to happen right now. Okay, and actually, this is a perfect segue before I go piss. I never understood what certain fans were going through when you pause. Right, I never understood it, and I love your reactions. Right. None of the pauses bothered me. Watch Maximum Hormone reactions. Watch your Band-Maid. None of the pauses bothered me. But then I got to Dimash, SOS. Bro, I was hilarious because I was screaming at the screen. Stop fucking pausing! Wait for that one note to come! Come on! I was like, and then I stopped. I'm like,
oh shit. Now I get it. I get it now why people yell at me for pausing.
What just happened? What just came over me?
I was like, it's like, whoa. Because you like pause and I get why he did it, but I still, inside of me, I was like, damn it, wait for him to sing the note.
Yeah, you know what I'll do sometimes too, man? I'll intentionally like feel the drop about to come, and I'll be like,
I swear to God, you were playing with my emotions. I swear. And then you did it again before every fucking note. I'm like, I was like, I get it now. It makes sense. I totally fucking understand.
You know, I feel it's. So
I felt like I was watching me.
Yeah, when I watch it, sometimes I'm just like, dude, shut up. Like, I don't care. Like, I'll be watching someone's reactions, and I'll be like, shut up, dude. Like, I don't... like, you said everything that you needed. You could have said what you needed to say in 3 seconds, but you took 46 seconds to say it. Why? Like, just get back into the music.
Because, dude, Dimash blew me the fuck away. I was not fucking... I think that was one of the first reactions that made me bawl out crying, like, on stream on some of the songs. I was like... I couldn't handle it. Like, it was like too many emotions. I was just like, like I do this thing where I go like this, like I'm like trying to run away so people can't see, and I'm like, but you can't run away. You got to stay on camera.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, that shit blows me away. But also, it's like, and I totally get what you're saying too. Like, dude, let him hit the note. But it's like, it's also like, oh my god, dude. Like, how am I supposed to? How can I go on with this video without talking about the note that I just heard? Like, I need to say this. This was amazing.
Yes. Now that reaction.
Oh, I gotta talk about this note now. This note was amazing too. Yeah. We need to do this one note by one note.
Bro, that reaction made me forgive every single comment that yelled at me for pausing. After your SOS reaction, I said, I understand.
Yo, should we? I'm just gonna real quick take a look at my SOS reaction, and I wonder how many dislikes are on that video for that exact reason in comparison to my other ones. Because I bet it's way higher. What was it? SOS,
yeah. I was like, bro, it was hilarious. I was laughing because, you know, you realize at that point. David says, honestly, guys, we watch for the pauses even when we are irritated by them. Yeah, I know. But the funny thing, bro, is I watched so many of your reactions and I didn't get pissed at all. Like, the pauses didn't bother me. But for some reason, with SOS... it got to me. I was like,
because I wonder if it was just that I was doing it more, or was it like
you know what it was?
Like really waiting for something.
Dimash sucked me back in. While I was watching you watch, I was sucked back in. I was like remembering when I first heard it, and I was like, oh my god, his voice is so beautiful, so amazing. And then you pause, and I'm like, ah. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. Then you let it go.
We'll be
and
okay.
then the note's coming, and then he pauses. I'm like, oh, it's like fuck. It was hilarious, dude.
And you know, the super fans of Dimash at that point too. Were, you know, if that was your reaction, imagine what their reaction was.
I know. I don't know, guys. How badly did I pause during SOS? It was hilarious. It was a great moment of realization. But I really got it.
You kind of got under their skin now.
Yeah, right, you gave me a taste of my own medicine. I'm going to use the restroom. So anyways, what I wanted to say, though, so this will be the first time I brought up that SOS thing because you can't pause this time.
I can't.
You have to watch Tomato Man. Here we go. I'll be right back.
Okay, so I'm going to give this a quick pause and talk about... What is this?
La Casa Negra, siempre contigo me quedo, mi amor.
Why is it on Tomato Time? Oh, it's in Spanish. tomatoes. Is that what's happening right here?
Bro, I was just hearing you from over there, and I was like laughing while I was pissing. I'm like, God damn it, aim at the hole. Aim at the hole.
I was at first I was thinking, hey, this isn't so bad. And then he poured the tomatoes on top of the cocaine, and I was like, no.
It's cheese. It's Parmesan cheese. Okay? Hopefully that makes it. It's cheese. It's legit cheese. He was fiending
when
for
I said Coke, algorithm, I meant the drink. The drink there.
Oh, look, I'm choking myself out right now.
Bruh, the spoon, though. As soon as I saw the tomato getting heated up on the spoon, I was like,
it gets worse.
Thing I've ever seen, man.
You ready? This gets worse.
Yeah, actually does look like shredded cheese.
What'd you say?
It does look like shredded cheese right now.
That is shredded cheese. We bought pounds and pounds of mozzarella cheese.
Unbelievable.
So that's why I say.
Who screamed?
Who's screaming? That's me and Kevin. We both did vocals on this.
Sounded good.
Yes, that's a Little Caesar's breadstick.
Bruh, I have two questions.
Yeah, what's going through your head? Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
One is why. Just for my own curiosity's sake.
Okay, you want me to tell you what the song's about? Give you the premise? All right.
Give me the context.
All right, the song is about addiction. I used to get made fun of.
I was kind of thinking that.
I was get made fun of as a kid for Italian family, addicted to tomato sauce. We had our Sunday dinners, pasta, homemade sauce, and I always had pasta in my fucking mouth. I was always eating sauce. So, and me as a person struggling with addiction, when we wrote the lyrics, we're like, it's a serious song, but we're like, dude, let's make it about my addiction to tomato sauce. So, and the story unfolds in this. This makes more sense in a second. We kind of fucked up with the story.
Kind of brilliant, though. Like, I mean, to take that, like, you're kind of like, I don't even know how to explain it. You're taking something that's like super serious that people can still relate to on a serious level, but you're making it more like easy to watch, I guess.
Yeah,
like, it's sort of like this.
Exactly, and that's always been my goal. And what I try to tell everybody was addiction can start with anything. It can start with the addiction of writing the letter H on a paper over and over and over again. It comes in small forms. You could argue and literally say, yeah, I was addicted to fucking Pepsi and tomato sauce when I was a kid because that's all I did. I had to have it. So, but
before we go on though, so I just want to piggyback off of what you just said about the addiction thing because I feel like people don't take certain addictions as seriously as other addictions, and sometimes that can diminish what somebody is actually going through on a level, right? And I think that you're absolutely 100% right. I've been addicted to things that people would not consider addictions my whole life, and I struggled to get past those. And I'm talking as simple as something like a physical tick. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
Sometimes I'll get something to happen in my eye, right? Like I'll feel like a need to do this, and I can stop it if I think about it. I could stop it, but there's a physical sensation that I'm getting because I was doing this from childhood, that makes me feel more comfortable as I'm doing that. That isn't an actual addiction. I don't have, like, it's not like I have like Tourette's or anything like that. It's literally in my head that is causing me just to, like, I'm consciously thinking about that. I need to consciously stop myself.
It's funny you say that. I get that with a flutter in my left eyelid where it's like, it'll start twitching.
Yeah, same.
Just twitches.
Yeah,
it's like,
same thing.
Like, and then, oh my God, it annoys the hell out of me. Cause then I'm sitting there going like, fucking stay open, damn it.
I always think that there's something like stuck in the corner, and I'm like lifting my eyelid, like, come on, get unstuck, man. What are you doing?
But yeah, that's absolutely what the song's about. Honestly, that's what it is. On that level, that's what it is.
Metaphorical?
Yeah, wait for the
Something smoke. Is that dough? Is that dough?
That's a Little Caesar's breadstick.
Oh my God, bro. Let me just say that when I was a kid, I thought, you know how they used to show us in like DARE class, like what a joint would look like?
Yeah.
I always thought it was made out of like pizza dough. So like that just brought me back to like 4th grade right there, where I was like, oh my God, that's like the first joint I ever saw when I was in school right there. There it is. They have it. They got it off the commercial and they brought it into the Dicodec.
That's what it is. We got it right from that. Those DARE commercials.
The video is really like high quality.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah,
surprisingly so. I don't know why I'm surprised, but like it seems very professional.
I'm very perfectionist, to say the least. When it comes to stuff,
I'm unsurprised by that.
So like you saw with the breadstick in the beginning. That's my wife, by the way. That was fully the breadstick. Wasn't some random person.
Okay. This is what I thought.
So that's why I say
sometimes you get it wrong.
Exactly. Hey,
sometimes
somebody got it.
Sometimes you have good times.
Somebody got it. That's exactly.
Yeah, sometimes you have good times, but like at the end of the day.
Yep. That's the whole thing. There's only one other person that got that was my Uncle John and you. You're the second person that got that. I never say anything. I always like to see what people think. Like only you, my Uncle John got it.
Probably people that have had addictions understand it better than people that haven't. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, because I as soon as I saw that, I was just like, the amount of times that I like, you think that everything is cool, man. Like we are, my addiction and me, we're working together.
Yeah,
This isn't a fight. We're working together.
Yeah. They're helping me. I'm helping you.
Oh, wait! Before you continue though, the scene with the tomatoes raining down on his face like that. Is there an inspiration from that, or did you just come up with that?
It's just like, I don't know. Maybe there's something subconsciously I've seen. I just thought it was hilarious. I'm like, dude, let's pour tomatoes on his face in slow motion.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious. It reminds me of there's this scene that oh my God, the name of the website was that guy with the glasses. You ever hear of that website before? The Nostalgia Critic.
Oh, okay.
So he had this girl with him called the Nostalgia Chick. She actually just like quit like last week or whatever. But there's like a scene where she's trying to like counter against like anti-feminist propaganda or something like that. And she has hot dogs raining down in the same way, like landing in her face. And all I was thinking was, man, you guys think alike. Like you guys are trying to say very important messages with the idea of food raining upon.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. Gotta love it a little bit.
That was from like a video game.
No! I gotta be honest with you, my dude.
You went too far in, I think. There you go. Dicodec original, your first time hearing.
About that last scene. That last scene there, was that like you walking in to see like the destruction that it caused on other people and deciding this is not worth being here, let's get the fuck out?
Like if you transferred it over because you were hanging out with those people for so long and kind of just carries over to another person as you clean up.
I'm more impressed than anything, to tell you the truth. I thought that the actual production quality of that was like really, really good. I didn't realize that the production quality of your videos was going to be that high. That was really good. Who's playing the solo in there too?
Me. I wrote and really recorded the whole song. Yep.
Really nice. All the instruments?
Yeah, did the drums, did the guitars, the bass, and then I had to get musicians afterwards. So Eric didn't come in until later on. Only the singer. The singer came in. He had vocals ready to go on the song because I sent it to him ahead of time, and then we put it together. So.
Did you guys play live at all?
Yeah, we played live all the time, but we just. Like I said, we were playing that kind of music, but we could never play with metal bands. We could never play with rock bands because we're too heavy for rock bands, too mellow for metal bands. We got shit on all the time.
It was
weird because we'd win.
It was in the middle.
We'd win all the contests and stuff too, which was the funny part. But it was just
like Battle of the Bands and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you mean?
We'd always win, or always come in second because the person there's always somebody that's going to win no matter what. So we'd always get second, and once in a while we'd get in first. But yeah, all that shit.
You should have been playing with like bands like Deftones and like stuff like that. Like I feel like you could go on tour with that sort of genre.
And we had those opportunities, man. We had those opportunities. Just kept having falling outs and stuff with the singer and stuff like that. And
is that singer still in the band, or it's just the girl now?
No, it's just the girl now, Vicky.
Okay.
It's mainly just me, So. And Joey, he's not in this one, but Joey's the bassist of the band now. But yeah.
Gotcha. Is that specifically for like live, or like do you still record stuff on the bass?
I still record stuff myself, but lately though I've been getting other people involved, like internationally. Like we had a bassist from Brazil do our Maximum the Hormone cover and do our Babymetal cover, because I don't want to do it all. I don't.
Like studio musicians?
Yeah. Like people I like find like this buddy from Korea, he can sing the Maximum Hormone stuff, so he does Maximum Hormone. And then Vicky, she lives in Canada and she does like all the clean vocals, Japanese vocals. And the bassist I hire them out. But
you meet all these people through online, like like via this channel and stuff.
Through this channel, the community. We I remember like the whole plan was do reactions and then covers of the songs we love. That was the goal. And I remember just putting in chat like,
plan, by the way.
Does anybody know a person who can sing in Japanese or do Maximum Hormone? And this guy had a cover band, a Maximum Hormone cover band. So we met up and we started doing that.
I mean, you are. Listen, man. I know that you're supposed to be like technically interviewing me or whatever, but I gotta say that like I'm very impressed by the amount of time and effort that you put into like just establishing this crew and the world that you're inside. You have a Discord too, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So like I've always wanted to sort of do that also, you know, establish my own sort of, make my connections. Like you obviously go out of your way to make connections with people in the industry, in the world that help you out, that you can benefit each other in many ways. I'm so antisocial that like that to me sounds like so much hard work. And I just want to say that like I wish that I had your sort of like motivation and ability to sort of go out there and make those connections, because I'd like to do that for myself. I just can't pull myself out of my own head long enough to actually make it happen. Well,
there's good news to what you just said. I guess, do you say introvert? I didn't talk in school. I was very quiet. I didn't talk to anyone, kept to myself. I got made fun of a lot. Like even like with people that I have like connections with, I would still get made fun of. You know what I mean? Like I just one of those kids.
You ended up at the butt of the joke.
I was like, so I was always quiet in school, kept my head down. I never talked, never. I was known as a quiet person for most of my life. And when I hated school, hated every single bit of being in school so much. I couldn't wait to get out. I probably showed up at class. I had a kid when I was 16.
Oh wow!
And I used that as an excuse for a while. So the person who I dated at the time, everyone hated me for dating her because she looked like Avril Lavigne. We had a kid, and people.
I would have been trying to swoop her up from you.
Yeah, every guy did. So imagine every guy saw this kid that never talked, said anything, got that girl. So I was like the most hated person, like in groups and everything. So I never show up to class.
Jealousy.
Yeah, jealousy. So I never show up to class ever. But I'm always one of those people that learn on the spot. So the way that I got through school, hate to say this, I would manipulate people. I would manipulate my teachers. My mom I used to drive her nuts. So I'd go to my teacher and be like, I have a kid. I can't show up to class. It was a load of shit. I could have showed up, no problem.
Yeah.
I had no. Yeah, it was. So that's how I passed.
Too,
yeah.
I did that too.
Fucking did it, whatever I could to get the fuck out of there. Yeah, I got out of school. And then I remember joining the military. I joined the military right when I got out of school. Came to El Paso. And then
high school you're talking about, right?
Right out of high school, yeah. Went in the military for 3 years. And then I told myself, you need to start talking. So I started talking. Started like forcing myself. And I was very fortunate and had a boss. Oh, man, sorry. That he worked with me and like he made me be like sociable because I was an asshole. Like I was strict. Like I was all about the job. Like you didn't fucking put the mayo on right. I was a dick, you know? Like, and he helped me be sociable. Like honestly.
Yeah.
So I was very quiet person. And he broke me out of it. Then I became a district manager.
That person though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that person's gotta be, you can't just do everything on your own. I think a lot of people feel like they need to in order to break out of a shell or something like that.
That's why I tell everyone that story. Really I try to tell everyone that because I always tell everyone, like, I know you see me as a talker and I'm talkative, but it was a work in progress. A very long
you got to this point after a struggle and a journey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a little different. I do appreciate your story there. And I think that could help a lot of people. I've actually been the opposite in the sense that in school I was super open. And I remember counting. This is ridiculous, but this is how my head worked. I went 48 days in a row when I was 16 years old without staying home, meaning like I would go out with a different group of friends for 48 days in a row. Like I still remember that number because I was so obsessed with socializing for a long period of time in my life. And it wasn't until I got out of college that I started becoming more introverted. And I had my kid when I was 20.
So you were the opposite.
Yes, I've gone in the opposite direction, like where I literally I was that guy. I was that guy that was like to annoying to a fault almost. Like I always had something to say, and I always wanted to be out talking to people. And now I get like extreme anxiety when I have to, even sometimes when I just see my family, like, going for Christmas or whatever, like the 10 minutes before I get there, I'm almost hyperventilating. And I don't know exactly what's changed over the course of that 15-year period. I know that part of it had to do with having a kid and knowing that I wasn't able to go out and just be me all the time anymore. So I had to adjust my mentality. I have to stay home with my son now. Certain days of the week, like 3-4 days a week, I'm staying home with my son, and I have to be okay with that. I have to get rid of the FOMO aspect, the fear of missing out. I can't have that in my life anymore. I have to be able to accept where I am in my lot. And I think that I got so used to that, and I pushed my brain so far in that direction that I actually ended up having the opposite impact on my life, where now I struggle to communicate with people in real IR. Obviously, you and me are having a conversation right now. I feel zero stress. I feel zero pressure, zero anxiety.
We have a lot in common.
Having this conversation. Right. And, I think that the ages help a lot, too. I think that people really sometimes don't take that into consideration as a big aspect. Like the era that you come out of really allows you to relate to people properly.
It does.
But if I go anywhere else, especially with strangers nowadays, I will get a stomachache. It's almost a guarantee that I'm going to get a stomachache before I get to the place that I need to go.
Yeah.
So it's, I almost feel like now at age 36, I might need your guy.
Yeah.
I might need your guy to come over here and tell me how to do this again. I forgot.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah. It's like I said, like even now, I still try to force myself, And alcohol back then not back then, it's fucking 3 months ago, like I would do that to open up. That's the only way I could open up. Because I would always do that trick too. Like, I opened up, right? Start talking a lot. But I noticed I would make it seem like I'm telling you everything, but I'm telling you nothing at all.
Yeah. And it's a smart move. I know that move. I've done that move.
Yeah,
it's smart. It gets people to think that you're being actively engaging with them when in reality you're really not becoming vulnerable at all. It's more of an act than anything. Yeah, I get that.
But now
and it's also funny how you use that. You use the alcohol to help you sort of open up and allow yourself to have that sort of conversation with people that you wouldn't normally be able to. Because again, this is where we fall on opposite ends of the spectrum. Because I was using marijuana in order to make me feel okay about staying home. So while you were using the alcohol to open up outside, I was using marijuana to close myself up inside so that I didn't feel that FOMO every day. You know? And it's so interesting how we utilize these addictions for different things. It's brought us in different areas.
It has. There's only been two things that have get me to open up. Music, like reactions. That's why I've been doing them and keep doing them. And unfortunately, it was cocaine and alcohol. Those were those things. Those were the only way to like take away the filter. Because something about music, I couldn't stop. I can't block it anymore. So like when I tear up,
I'm right there with you.
When I cry, it's uncontrollable. I used to get made fun about it when I was younger. I'd cry over stupid shit. I had no clue why. Like, why are you crying? It's not even that big of a deal. Didn't know. got made fun of my whole life for it. And then I learned how to hold it in, stuff it in. But now
when I watch, men don't cry. What are you doing?
But now when I watch movies or shows or specific songs, bro, it's like a trigger. It's like, bam. It's like I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
That, man. I so feel you on that. Like I really feel like, and I was talking about my son and how he never cries, and I was the same way. When I was that extroverted guy in school, nothing made me cry. Nothing ever, especially not my own life. My own life still doesn't make me cry. It's other people's lives that make me cry. But like, it is 100% uncontrollable. If you were to put on even a happy moment now, like on the screen in front of me, my brain no longer connects to the like hold it back part anymore. It's just like, dude, you're going, just go, just let it happen. I've cried a couple times in my reactions also. I don't think many people have watched them because they've been in like lesser views reactions, but just from listening to the music and hearing the words that they're saying and stuff like that, it happens sometimes. You just can't control it.
Bro, your reaction.
But I think that's beautiful. Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
That it could make you feel that way.
It is. I couldn't believe watching you react to Dimash brought me back that quick. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was like, I'm watching this through somebody else watching it, and it's about to take hold real quick.
It's because it's crazy. It's bringing you back to the moment that you were doing it, you know? And I do feel like that has to do probably because you can relate to me as a person.
Yeah.
I would probably feel similarly with you. I don't remember which one I was watching on your channel, but you started, I think it was a Band-Maid song. I think you started tearing up at the end of a Band-Maid song.
Yeah, I've done it through a couple. Like, I've had guitar solos make me tear up, dude.
Oh, that's what it was. It was daydreaming. It was the guitar solo and daydreaming. And I was watching that, and this sounds awful though. But like this, we're talking about this, right? We're talking about psychology, right? This sounds awful, but I kind of got a little bit angry watching it because I was just like jealous that you were able to emotionally connect with the sound of guitar solo in a way that I can't do, you know? And I was watching that and I felt all kinds of envy. I was just like, damn, dude, like this is the greatest reaction I've ever seen for this song. I couldn't possibly do this because I don't have that sort of, like, I can feel things about music, but it's so math related. You know, there's so much mathematics in why I enjoy
For me, it doesn't exist. When La Casa Negra, when I'm playing that solo, I have to do it all in one take, and I have to be like invested. Like, and so when I'm doing the I'm like, it's a story in my head that's being told through the solo. So when I hear certain guitar solos and I feel the bend a certain way, I know that it means something deeper. When I hear the bending in the guitar and stuff.
When you listen to something like that, are you visualizing anything in your head as you listen?
Yeah, stories. It triggers stories or triggers emotions
images,
for me.
So like a visual, like you see like things happening.
Every song I wrote has had a story without lyrics. Without lyrics.
And there's the biggest difference between how you view music and how I do. Because while you're seeing images and stories, I'm seeing graphs and geometrical shapes.
That's why I'm not a huge fan of metal, of full-on metal. That's why I'm not a huge fan, because that's what it is, like the very techie stuff. I was in those bands, but there wasn't any emotional. Like, I've cried on stage while playing my solos, like in my songs, but I played with another band, March of Kronos, and felt nothing.
Yeah, because it doesn't mean anything to you. You're not getting, the message isn't there.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you. I've never written a song and said to myself, damn, that was emotionally impactful. I've only written a song and been like, I structured that really well. You know, like the best thing that I could say about my own writing is that I'm proud that I was able to design it in a way that other musicians might think is impressive, you know, but it's never been about the emotion for me. Now, lyrically, I could get into the emotions. Visually, I could get into the emotions. I wish I had that part of my body that could get into the musical emotions like that.
Like our song, The Reasoning, was about my daughter, because I'll try not to get emotional about this, but like I said, I didn't write about lyrics. So the way that I would do it, it was her mom had her at a house. It's a bad area in New York, James Street. Tim in the chat knows what I'm talking about. We call them the James Street characters. And she was living next to a pedophile house. And she was allowing my daughter to walk by herself. She was only 12 years old. And yeah, I was pissed, angry, super emotional, and I wrote that whole song guitar-wise. It's called The Reason.
Just to be clear. Pissed and emotional with reason.
With reason, yeah.
I would have felt the same way.
But all my life is people have made me feel crazy for going to those extreme emotions. And there's sometimes they're justified and there's sometimes they're not, Right. It's like with the whole, unfortunately, Eric leaving thing. I can sit here and say, yes, I feel happy that he figured it out and he found it out. And I'm so happy for him. But at the same time, the petty, angry side of myself comes in, and you're like, fuck, you got to put that in. You're like, that's not right. And it's not right, but you can't help it. And
you can't necessarily it's not the most simplest thing to navigate, the waters of a breakup in any way, regardless of if it's a romantic, friendship, band, whatever, business. It's almost impossible to navigate because they had something totally different in their head than you do, right? So you're dealing with this ultimately on your own in the way that you would need to deal with that.
Yep.
So if you're going to feel the feelings that you're going to feel, that's what's going to happen. You need to feel those things, right?
Yep.
You just also, as you are doing, are being self-aware and perceptive of how the other person is also probably feeling. So you're allowing yourself to feel the petty vindictiveness that is natural and you probably should feel. But also are countering your own argument by saying, I understand that he needed to do this for his own mental state, too. So I think that's fair. I think that's a fair way to view things. And I think that people that claim that they don't have that angry part when something like that happens, they're just lying to themselves. And I think it's going to take them even longer to get past that thing that they're trying to get past.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why, when I did the stream, I just kept it to a minimum. I didn't say a lot of stuff because I do understand that some people be like, well, Ellen's a fucking selfish asshole. Well, he shouldn't be feeling like that. You hear those comments, but it's well, fuck. All right, so you're wrong. Everyone goes through the emotions, then they internalize it, and then they go, okay, I understand that was fucked up. It's over. It's fine. Didn't act on. But yeah, like I said, I struggle with controlling my emotions. There was a point in time in my life where I didn't realize that, where I would be petty as fuck, and I would act out, and I would go against that person. I would try to ruin that person, where I grew up, and then I was like, oh, Alan, this is why you don't have friends. For the lack of understanding other people. And that's something my buddy Carl at the time when I started Carlos Jr., that was a 5 years in the making kind of thing of me understanding, me trying to be empathetic instead of being caught up in my own bullshit, and that kind of stuff. That was a hard learning curve for me.
And it's even harder because, when it comes to society and just how people respond to things most of the time, especially publicly now that there's social media and stuff like that, people are generally out for themselves, or at least it comes across that way. If you know people in real life, a lot of the time you realize that people are more generous with their time and more generous with their thoughts and understanding of things. But when the mentality of society is that you're out for yourself, it's hard to break free from that initial reaction that you have when something bad happens. That I need to immediately think about myself. I have to. This is what society dictates I need to do. And then for your own mental health and mental fortitude, you need to do that in order to get through whatever is going to happen. So while people are going to come at you and say, blah, 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 you're being childish or whatever they're going to say, the fact of the matter is they're looking at it from the most shallow possible perspective. There is so much more to this black and white thing that everybody thinks everything is black and white nowadays. No, dude, everything is this. Why do you think I wear gray so much? Because it's black and white combined, baby. It's all of it. It embodies life, right?
Svetlana, thanks for super chat.
Yeah, man. And can I ask you something about that, by the way? Just because we have the similar
I can't believe I controlled it right now. I felt emotions coming out right now. I'm like, oh God.
I can see it in your face, but I hear you, man. Like, I totally like. See, and I would never. That's another difference between you and me. If I were talking about my own life like that, like, for example, if I wanted to talk about, like, my dad died when I was 13, right? My biological father. I've never once cried about him. I don't think I've ever cried about anything that's ever happened in my life. Not for, at least not for an extended period of time. But it's so easy to make me cry about other things, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, that part of, and I think that has to do with why I also can't connect emotionally to certain musical sounds also. Like, you have...
something's wrong with the audio.
You have the...
One sec. Let me fix the audio real quick. Oh, shit. I hope we didn't lose all the audio.
They're hearing pooping noises.
Damn, I hope it... All right, is the audio good now, guys? How about now?
Should I speak?
All right, we'll see. We'll wait. Is it still there? It's good now. Okay, cool. I had to reset it.
Okay.
All right.
No more pooping noises. Oh wait, I hear a delay on.
How much? Where do we leave off? You hear a delay?
I hear myself now. Oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's left. We're good to go.
All right.
We're good to go. Yeah, no worries. Got to handle those audio interruptions, man. It always happens.
Is there static still? Somebody says there's static. How did we go this whole time without any of these issues?
I don't hear static.
I don't
heard
either.
The popping before.
It's good now. Okay, this is good now. Where do we leave off, guys?
Okay.
Again, shout out to everyone listening. Sorry if this is getting heavy for you. Not sorry at the same time because I like talking about it. But yeah,
this is stuff that's important, man. Like, I feel like you know what? Like, if you don't want to hear it, you don't have to listen. But, like, also, like, this could probably be a beneficial conversation for most people to have, just in general. Because you know what we're doing? We're not talking about what's right and wrong. We're talking about how to handle the things that
it's going to happen.
You know what I mean?
No matter what. Yeah. Like,
things happen to people. Like, we should know how to handle them. This is something you don't get taught in school, you know?
Yeah.
These are the things that you're not taught how to deal with your mental instabilities in school. Like, that doesn't exist. There's not enough people out there that help you with that stuff, I think. And
I know. Is there a country that does?
In going into this, but I think that it's beneficial.
Yeah. Is there a country that is good about that out there? Like, in another country, maybe not here, not in the U.S. I can't think of a country that's good about that.
Not off the top of my head. That, like, you know what I mean, that, like, focuses on mental health and teaching that to younger people. I mean, I wouldn't know, but also I'm not worldly enough to be able to answer their question. I wish that I was, but like I said, New Jersey for life.
New Jersey for life.
I don't know if I'm ever getting out of here.
Oh man.
This is what I wanted to ask you about, though. The having a child at 16. You know, because I had a child out of wedlock also at 20. So obviously you were a little younger than me. You were in high school. I was in college. But, like, do you feel like that played, like, a significant part in changing how you viewed life?
No.
Or do you think that because you were so young, you were like, your brain is still developing at 16. So, like, I don't know if that would have happened to me if it happened earlier. I don't know if I would have had the same sort of a shift in mentality.
Bro, I was so angry and so stubborn back then, and so, like I said, introverted, that everyone's like, you have a child, your life's over. And I was so hell-bent on proving everyone wrong. Like, proving my mom wrong, proving my dad wrong. They're like, you're never going to be anything. All that stuff. Yeah. So I was determined. Like, the first thing, and it was, like I said, this is petty shit. The problem was I did things that weren't for myself. It was to prove people wrong. That's how I lived my life for a very long time. So the first thing was, you know, when it goes down to this basic thing. My mom said, you can't get a good job with tattoos. I fucking became a district manager, made 3 times more money than her just to prove her wrong. You know what I mean?
Do you think she liked that, or you think she was angry?
No, I never said it. I never said it out loud. It was more for myself.
So wait, hold on. So just to be clear then, your spite that you had, right? Like, it was more about proving yourself that you were capable of shifting their opinions. You didn't even care if you actually shifted their opinions.
I don't know. Yeah, like sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But it's funny because my mom told me like 2 years ago, she's like, I never have to worry about Alan. Like, that's what she said. Like, she worries about my sister more than anything. She's like, Alan always figures it out. So, like, my parents and I have, like, a really disconnect. Like,
but do you think... so that I could see where the disconnect would come in. You don't find that as a compliment at all?
No, it was a compliment. That's why I get choked up. Like, I remember going from hating my mom. I'm not going to lie. I hated her for years to appreciating her. I remember that switch. So like, oh my God, she's a single parent, took care of 2 kids, and then fucking raised and bought a house. How the fuck did she do that? Like,
yeah, it's fucking hard, man.
And I was like, and I was a little asshole. And like, I was, you know what I mean? I was a selfish
I did not
prick.
make this any easier for her.
Yeah, I didn't. I totally, dude, I fucking ran away.
You were a kid, but you were a kid.
I ran away, had a kid when I was 16, I went from having straight hundreds in school to failing, and I freaked all my teachers out. This is what I mean. I'm a kid just like fucking with my teachers' heads. And my mom, and the teachers called my mom and asked her, are we doing something wrong? The teachers asked if they were doing something wrong because they couldn't figure it out. They're like, but I was cheating the system because you remember no kid left behind bullshit. You couldn't get lower than 50.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I did? I got 100, 3 first periods, and then never went to school after that because I knew that I would average out to a passing grade.
I mean, mathematically, that makes sense.
It
worked.
And then you remember the Regents bullshit? Well, New York, they had New York Regents, right? So I would fail all year and pass the Regents with a 70.
Is that like a test at the end of the year?
Yeah, and like that would dictate it because what they would say is like if you got 100 all year in that class, right, and you failed the Regents, you fail the class. So in my head, I was like, that makes no fucking sense. I'm gonna fail all year and then pass the Regents. So that's what I would do. That's why I was saying, I was joking. I like barely went to school because I was smart enough to pass the test with common sense.
A lot of the time people are capable, the smartest people a lot of the time in school don't do that great because the school is not demanding anything from them that they think requires their thought processes.
I think I enjoyed making the teachers feel stupid because just showing them that I could get A's and then fucking flunk the rest of the year.
Yeah, like I didn't need you to tell me anything.
Like to me, it didn't make sense. To me, it made no logical sense to even try. Like I always felt like I was wasting my time,
The school system in general, like it's another whole topic that I don't really feel like getting into, but like the way that it's set up, I mean, it's not for everybody. You know, the fact that people think that like 100% of children can be taught with the same exact style doesn't make any sense logically speaking. So
no, it doesn't.
Of course, people like you are gonna go against it. It makes that to me actually makes a lot of sense. Like your decision making.
I took advantage, man. That's why I said that's why I appreciated my mom later on because I didn't realize all the shit I was putting her through. So yeah, it was interesting stuff.
I always had a really good relationship with my parents, but I don't feel like. This kind of sounds mean to say. I don't feel like they taught me that much when it comes to life and how to handle those things. So like while and there wasn't a lot of empathy shown or even sympathy.
Same with me.
So I felt very comfortable financially, they had money and they were nice to me and let me do things. They were never mean or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Man, opposite.
But if something bad happened in my life, like I was really upset about something, and I said this is really bumming me out. Their first reaction would be like, get over it. So it was. I kind of had that old school mentality of you're a man, deal with that shit. I know your girlfriend of 3 years just left you, but don't be a little bitch about it. Just suck it up and deal with it. And I'd be I'm not that cool. I don't have that many friends. Mom, I would love to talk to you about this stuff. And she'd kind of brush it off.
Yeah.
But I know also that she wasn't doing that as a way of
Bro, I was in a relationship with only 4 women my entire life. Like I was married. I was
You
married
mean
at
like full
20.
on relationship? If you're like, is that?
If
what
I'm
you're
being honest, it was
to?
only 2 full relationships,
2 full relationships. Okay,
and both were marriage.
both were marriage,
And I'm currently married.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously.
But you know,
This one seems like it might stick.
That's insane, right? Like it's like that's how like introverted I was. Like that's how
I knew a lot of people like that, man.
Yeah.
My best friend, he didn't date a girl until he was 28 years old, and now he's married to her. Same girl.
Yeah.
You know, I was the opposite. Obviously, I was. I had lots of short-term girlfriends throughout high school, and then I had I had like a 1.5-year relationship, and then I had a year relationship with another girl, and then I had a 3-year relationship with another girl, and then I had this on and off relationship that I have with my son's mother.
Yeah.
And none of them resulted in marriage. Thank God, just for the financial aspects of that, because I don't know how I would have dealt with those burdens. But I
Wretched Rob said I talked to a girl once, and how many? And he said how many were not women.
You know, I'm really proud of you, though, Wretched. Like that's a hard thing to do. I'm telling you, I've been trying to explain it. I'm 36 years old, and I can barely walk up to a girl nowadays, you know? So I get it, man. Good job, Wretched Rob. But back then, I was like, I just found it so easy. So I had all kinds of like relationships that were like a month and a half long, 2 months long. I wouldn't consider those relationships. You know, the full-on relationships that I had were the 4 that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Outside of that, man, but it's been a long time since I've felt compelled to get involved in something that requires that kind of, and God, this is going to sound so cliche, commitment. You know, like that kind of commitment. I just don't know that I have it in me anymore. You know?
Yeah.
So, it's very interesting.
That brought me.
I love how our lives
have
kind of like. I love how our lives have kind of like matched up in some ways, but also been perpendicular. In other ways.
Like complete opposites at certain points, but still the same. Yeah, like because with my parents, they're strict as fuck. Like you had meals at certain times, you couldn't eat stuff. Like it makes sense though, you know, single mom, you got to keep the shit in order, you know. So like,
are you still like are you close with her now?
I am, but not. There's still that disconnect. I have a huge disconnect with my parents. Is it not a
mother-son relationship? Is it more of like a?
I don't know.
We're family, but we're not really like.
Yeah, it's close. Like keep in touch and stuff, but like it's like I have a lot of issues in my head that I still need to bring up. Probably that would solve shit, you know.
Do you think that she would hear it now?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think she's grown?
I think
like
she
you've
would.
Grown?
Absolutely, I think she would have. You know, so 100%.
Maybe you should consider doing it.
It's just me not being stubborn and actually being able to talk. That's the issue.
It takes some time to build up to that point.
Yeah.
It takes some time to build up to that point. What about your? Do you still keep in touch with your daughter's mother at all?
Not anymore. I talk directly to my daughter now. She's 16.
Yeah, so my son's 13, and now I've also chosen to go the route of I'll text my kid. She does not need to be involved.
It would go good. It would go good sometimes, but then it always goes south.
They're always looking for someone to blame. You know?
Yeah,
Dad is always the easy answer to blame. I struggled a long time with that relationship.
Davis said the only woman that he ever loved was killed in a car crash 3 weeks after he asked her to marry him. Never been in a serious relationship. Man, I am so sorry. Woo!
Chris, bro, that is crazy.
That fucking hit me hard. Ugh,
I don't even I can't even see if I think about that too much, I will start to like feel really upset about something like that. Like I think this is me coping is me trying not to actually immerse myself in what you just said, but like just the idea of it, it's too much. It's too. I would never date again after that. Also, I don't think I would ever be able to get over it.
I don't know what I would do. Like, bro,
how long does it take you to find somebody that you love? Right?
Yeah.
Like, how long does it take? You're gonna start over.
Yeah, and how well do you try? Like, see, that's my problem too. Is I get into analytical about it. I'm like, I look at every single thing in life as a skill that needs to be practiced. everything, dude, everything, like going up and talking to people. It's a skill you need to practice. Some people are good at it, some aren't. I remember I used to never be able to do that, and now I just like I go up to people and just say shit. But then there's those moments where I go back and I can't do it. So like it's so bad and it's so cold, I feel like to think of like every single fucking thing is a skill that can just be practiced and perfected.
Do you ever feel like, let me just preface this by saying that I agree that you can, that's how everything works. I agree. Do you ever feel like that makes you less personable because you're thinking about it from
absolutely
a different aspect?
Absolutely. That's the issue that I've had. It's so like funny. So I'm so emotional, but I'm not personable sometimes. Like,
because you're keeping it in your head, and then like when you're communicating, you're trying to communicate the way that you're supposed to communicate, rather than letting your actual internal thoughts come out. Maybe because you don't feel like people want to hear those. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. And then
I've definitely found myself putting a mask on in a ton of social situations.
I think now more than ever, though, everybody is so accepting of hearing everything, and this has been the easiest time to just say it.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
I definitely feel like these past 2 years I've been able to just fucking say shit. I don't know why. I'll give you one reason, and it sounds like, listen, you got to look at the silver lining, right? But COVID has put us all in a situation where guys get a room.
We're in a room. Can't you see?
We're in a room. I'm in a studio.
We're both in a room. You see our rooms, homie.
We're in a room.
You want to come over? Here we come in. I feel like there's like this certain aspect. I don't even remember what I was going to say, man.
I'm sorry. That threw me off. I saw that get a room. I swear to God, we're funny too, guys.
Yeah, this is. I'm not. I will never claim to be funny, but Alan's pretty funny. He might be able to pull it out of me.
A chat room.
A chat room. Good one, WB.
Man. No, this is a studio. This is not a bedroom. This is, look it. There's guitars in here. Let's see, like this. Oh shit! As I almost knock over all of them. Like, see? This
is not a bed.
There's a mic. There's no bed. There's no bed here. It's just
no pillows up there.
No green screen at all, whatsoever. This is 100% legit. I guess we can end it. We should probably, and we should do this again.
A little bit. I gotta say,
we should do this again. I appreciate you letting this go on this long.
No problem, man. This was like a mental sort of like a scrubbing for me. Like I feel like
exactly.
Like I needed to have this conversation with you, man. Like, this is a necessary thing. Next time we'll probably talk about music a little bit more. I assume we talked about some music.
I think we talked about music. I think we had this was a good talk. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean, we talked about I think I've never talked about this many bands too. We talked about a lot of bands today, and so there's a lot of good stuff. Guys, you guys see the pinned comment to his Patreon. Please support this man, support his channel. Check it out. We'll definitely be doing this again. I know I haven't asked him yet, but I know he's going to say yes. So
doesn't it just take the edge off when you're going to ask somebody to do something you know they're already going to say yes?
I mean, I'm not fucking with people. Like, I watch reaction channels because I have to be like, okay, I know there's something there. There's a conversation that can be had,
100%.
But
I'm just reading these comments. I enjoyed it to some degree, LOL. What degree is that? Solemn Bulger.
Oh man. Oh, what did you guys think, guys? Let us know. What was it? I mean, you guys stuck around, so I guess there must be some enjoying of this conversation. But Jonathan Lane said he missed the whole music part. Huh?
Yeah, I have to assume they would have left like an hour and a half ago if they were done with this.
So I just want to say again, thanks for the super chats. I did see those come through. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for donating. Please consider checking out Champ's Patreon. It really helps us keep this channel running and stuff like that. And I appreciate all the support, about the whole thing with Eric heading off and stuff like that. It feels good that you guys are all there for all of us, So I really appreciate it. And bro, I'm looking forward to having you on again. Hopefully I meet you in person.
I appreciate the invites too. As soon as I saw the Wave one, I was like, I kind of want to do that, man.
Yeah. Well, because then you see how I talk, right? And Wave was awesome to talk to, but he had a limit. I accidentally made him go past his time, and I'm like, I felt bad. He's like, bro, because he's so nice, and he's like, bro, I have to go.
Yo.
Shut up! I'm sorry.
And then you immediately feel bad for a second there because he was too nice to say they go earlier. You're like, oh shit, whatever.
Yeah. But Wave and I are doing a cover, so that's cool. It's cool. He's awesome. Hey, cool. He's awesome. Check out his channel too, guys, if you guys haven't yet. But hopefully I can meet you two in person sometime. Next time I head up north, I'll hit you up.
Yeah, man. And if I ever venture down to Texas, which I don't think I'll ever have, I was there for South by Southwest. But
hey, all my family lives up in Jersey, Boston, New York, so there's more likelihood of me going up there anyways. I'm always up there. Man. All right, man. Have a good one, guys. Yeah, you too. Thank you for sticking around. This is awesome. This is a record. We beat a record today.
Hey, I feel proud.
All right, peace out.
Adios.
The stream's not